Okay, good morning, good afternoon, and welcome everybody. This is sort of a last minute I thought about this morning doing a live stream, so I put the notice out and let's see what happens, see how many people will get today, even though I've just put it on at the last minute. So already we have 5 in the house. Give us a thumbs up if everything works okay. Oh yeah, great. Good morning and happy Easter to you. Do you know something? A friend of mine sent me a happy Easter message. They don't celebrate Easter over here, so I just didn't know anything about it. Yeah, it's a bank holiday weekend, isn't it? So I hope everybody's having a good bank holiday weekend, and I hope the weather's nice for you. As you can see here, blue skies. It's always nice here. It's nice and warm. A bit of a different location today. We're looking that way as opposed to we're looking that way before. So some people said that they like the house at that house there. So we've got a different look of it today. And again, there's me hammock over there. I was on that earlier on this morning. So yeah, everything is good in the household. Good day, Les. Morning. Any interest house on the sale yet? I've had a few people, tire kickers, if you like, wanting to know, you know, how much, what's the least amount I'd take for the house. I think without coming even to have a look at it, I wouldn't even partake in a conversation for such a thing. But I think it's nearly 14,000 views, so there's got to be a few people interested. I'm actually doing some work around the house now. Every day, maybe it's 2 or 3 hours a day, I'm doing some work around the house, either in the garden or inside the house. I'm doing a little bit of painting and decorating. I've been around my friend's house, Michelle, with a cat sanctuary. I helped somebody out with their electrics the other day. So I'm busy. I've always got something on the go. And I've got to say, anybody who's in a similar or same situation to me as me, keep that momentum going. Don't just feel sorry for yourself and just sit there and think, woe is me. Because it does take your mind away from all of these things. I live in a beautiful location. I really, really, really do. And everybody that's been here, I've had a couple of subscribers come here for a cup of coffee, and every one of them says it's a beautiful location. Why do I want to move? So if there's no interest in it, then I won't be moving. But again, it's a lovely location. But I'm going to be spending best part of half the year not living here because I'll be in other countries. I'm going back to England. I'll be in England a month from today. I'm going to Bangkok in a little over 10 days' time. 7 days, just over a week. 13th of April, I'm going there for Songkran. So anyway, I've yet to say good morning and good afternoon, good welcome, retired and living the dream. Me cup of coffee. Hello, Les, my good friend. Hello. I'm friendly to anybody and everybody. Everybody should be friends with everybody else, and it would be a peaceful and tranquil world if everybody made friends with everybody. Thanks very much for that. Thanks very much for tuning in and watching. Good luck, Les. Thanks for the Easter broadcast. Well, I didn't even know it was Easter until yesterday. And it's not just because it's Easter Sunday. I mean, I set the time now because your clocks have gone forward, haven't they? So it's the normal time now, so you don't have to get up an hour earlier sort of watch it. 9 o'clock in the morning. I think most people are up by 9 o'clock on a Sunday. Hi, Les. If you were a wealthy man, millions saved, where in the world would you like to live full time? Well, to be honest, if I was a millionaire, I wouldn't be a millionaire for long because I'd help so many people with it. I only need a certain amount of money to live on, and that's all I need. I've never had thousands and thousands of pounds in the bank, and I don't think I could ever live with myself for that and not being able to help other people out. There are a lot more people worse off than me, that's for sure. And the feeling you get by helping others. So I don't think I'd ever be a millionaire because I end up I've given my last pound away to a street beggar once up in Edinburgh. So I've done it. So no, I wouldn't want to be a millionaire anyway. I've got to say the poorer the people are, the more better people they are, and the richer the people that I've met haven't always been the nicest people that you want to meet. So no, I'd never be a millionaire because I'd end up giving it away. I remember a few years back, you did a walkabout with Redcar. Will you be doing the same videos? I will be, yes, because I'm living at my sister's again for the 6 weeks that I'm there, and I shall be doing walkabouts of Redcar and seeing how it is. I was going to do a video of Middlesbrough. It's ranked as one of the most dangerous cities or towns in the whole of England, Middlesbrough. I think I'll give that a pass because I don't want my camera being nicked in Middlesbrough. There's plenty of bad news about Middlesbrough at the minute and the UK. But I shall be just doing price comparisons. A friend of mine just gave me another £5 donation to go and have some more coffees and toasties on the beach. I still haven't spent his last £5 yet for coffees and toasties on the beach. So before I go, I will be doing a price comparison, 2 toasties and a coffee sitting on the beach near where I live, and I'll be doing a sitting on Redcar Beach with a coffee and 2 toasties and seeing what the price difference is. That should be an interesting video to do. Yeah, but I like walking around Redcar anyway. So, I mean, I lived there most of my life, so it's still got a special place in my heart, Redcar. It's always going to be a part of me. But again, I've moved on from that. I'm away from Redcar. I live in Thailand. I love Thailand. But I may fall in love with another country. I may fall in love with the Philippines because I'm going to the Philippines for a month. I haven't been around anywhere in the Philippines, but I've been around nearly every place in Thailand. So let's see what happens. I use cap locks so I can see I'm not shouting. No problem. If that's what you need to do, go ahead. No problem with cap locks. Okay, Les, I'm going to Bradley's for hot dogs. Going to have a very good late lunch. Okay, enjoy your hot dogs. I'm sure that'll cost the thick end of a tenner for a hot dog. If you're in trouble or hurt or need to go to poor people, they're the only ones that will help. Yeah, I agree with that. Yes, I've met not so wealthy people. Yeah, I won't get into that argument because, as I say, wealthy people, there are a few exceptions, and my landlady is one of them. But on the whole, the wealthier the people are, they're not the very best of people. Anyway, let's move on with this. Again, this is your chance to ask any questions you want. So please feel free to ask any questions. Again, there's a number of things I'm going to talk about. So as the conversation goes, I've got no script. It's just you ask the question and I'll give you the answers. Don't feel embarrassed about asking any questions you want. I'm an open book. I do these YouTube for the good and the bad. I've done a lot of years showing the good parts and positive parts of living here. At the minute, I'm going through a bit of a sad part, but it's not all sad. It's not all doom and gloom, which I'm going to come on to a little bit later on in the video. But I'd sooner restart over here in Thailand than have to restart back in the UK. But I say we'll go through that. If you want to ask a question, put a capital Q at the beginning of the comments because the comments start coming down. If I see there's a Q, I know it's a question. Jackson, good afternoon, Jackson. Happy Easter. I forgot Easter was as well. It's because it's a Buddhist country, this country, isn't it? So they don't believe in our religion. So anyway, I do miss out on the chocolate. The Easter eggs have always got smaller and thinner, but I like the Cadbury's cream eggs. So hopefully there'll be a glut of Cadbury's cream eggs when I go back to the UK. So I'll get a few. Cadbury's cream egg, put it in the freezer. Oh, they taste delicious. Right. How's selling the house going? Again, I've had plenty of people inquiries. The biggest thing that people are worried about is how you can safely keep the house and how you can avoid losing everything. And again, because there's so many people have asked that question, I'm still going to do a video on it, but I was down in Pattaya last week talking to a lawyer. Then I was talking to another lawyer online, and I'm going to do the video. And there are 5 ways that you can protect the property that you're going to buy, where I agree you cannot own the land, but you can own the house that's on the land. So there's ways and means of protecting it. And again, because I need to protect it for me, if I do end up paying the full amount for the house in 3 years, and then the house becomes mine, then I've got to transfer it into a Thai person's name, and that Thai person's name was going to be Ploy, but it won't be Ploy anymore. So that's one of the problems that I had, that I was looking at to solve. And there's a simple way, there's an easy way, it's a remedy that you can do, and there's 5 different ways I can do it, and they're all legal and above board, and it's not 30 plus 30 plus 30 plus 30. Again, the video will explain, and I'll also give the details of the lawyer that is dealing with this, and his costs roughly are to make sure everything is safe and that you won't lose anything, is roughly 55,000 baht for his services to do that, which I think is a small price to pay. I mean, the house is valued at about 4 million, so let's say 3.5 for, selling it. So 55,000 baht to secure, a 3.5 million baht house. It's not a lot to pay, is it? Then there's the other taxes that you've got to pay over that for buying a house anyway. But 55,000 baht for his services to protect, and you'll never ever lose it. All right, let's have a look. Les, many spend their life chasing money, many to make the find it empty in the end. Yeah, I was a bit like that. I lived in Redcar. I lived in a cul-de-sac, if you like, and I nicknamed it the Joneses because everybody kept up with everybody else. If there was a new car, somebody else would get a new car. I lived like that. I worked at 4 or 5 jobs trying to keep up with everybody because I was, at the time, being the good man that I am, I didn't want my wife to work, and she didn't want to work anyway. So I worked harder so she could spend the time at home looking after the kids. But I ultimately paid the price for that because I was naive in thinking, that it was going to last forever, and I didn't take precautions because I never even looked at it. But that is a bad thing to do, because then she's not paying any national insurance contributions, which then that hits your pocket if you get divorced, because then part of your pension is taken off you to give her a better pension. Same with the deposit that I put on the house. I put £30,000 deposit on the house, and when we got divorced, that's a matrimonial asset now. That money, you put it in, but you don't get it back, even though I put it in before we got the house together. Anyway, there's lots of things, but I'm well more clued up now than what I was when I was much younger. So marriage is a dying episode now, that people aren't getting married for all of them right reasons. There's a lot of women who are just gold diggers out there, and if they're divorced you for any reason whatsoever, they're always going to be better off. But that's my opinion, and there are plenty of other guys on YouTube who say exactly the same thing. So am I looking for wife number 5? No, I'm not. I think I'm going to give the single life a try and see if I like that. I can't really say 100% for sure, but let's give it a go. I'm almost 6 weeks into it now, and I've sort of in recovery. I feel in a much better place and location now. Time is a great healer, and if anybody else is going through the same scenario as me or wherever, or they want to be able to talk to somebody, I'm always a lending ear. And I'll tell you, for my penny's worth, I'll give you my thoughts on what I'm doing about it. So if you want to talk to anybody or just ask some questions, please feel free to send a message to, there's my email address, and I'll answer. And I'm honest and blunt. I've had good days and I've had bad days, but now I've sort of I feel as if I've turned the corner. I'm on more good days than bad days. And I'm happier in myself and keeping busy and having some good friends around you also helps as well. Right, so let's have a look. Cabbage cream eggs. You must like wedding cake. I do like wedding cake, yeah, but also the reason why I got married to Ploy was, and I can't understand the guys that have criticised what I did with regard to the house and a pension and things like that and income. Ploy was 26 years younger than me, and we had a good 9.5 years. I'll never ever take that away from her or me. We had a good 9.5 years together. It's sad the reason why we split up, but I bought this house, or I was buying this house to give to her, because if we'd have lived another 15 or 20 years together, she spent a lot of her time spending her life with me. So there are some guys that have left messages and that. So let's say I would have been together with Ploy for 30 years. And if I didn't do any of these things, and I didn't give her the house or make arrangements for the pension and things like that, I died, she's back at square one, but another 30 years older. So then she'd have to start again looking for somebody in 30 years' time, because a partner that's got the best years out of her has died and left her with nothing. I made provisions for Ploy that when I died, she was going to get my fire brigade pension. And if we weren't married, she wouldn't have got that fire brigade pension for the rest of her life. So I made provisions for her because we had a good time together. Everything in the garden was rosy until early this year. So my thoughts were, why shouldn't, if I can do it and it wasn't going to cost me a lot, why wouldn't I want to support the wife that I've been living with for, there's some guys have talked to me, 25, 30 years have been married to their Thai partner. Fantastic. So how would you feel in your own mind that your wife or your girlfriend's lived with you for all of them years and you died and she gets nothing from you? Absolutely nothing. I think that's shameful for those guys who think like that. But hey ho, we're all different, aren't we? And again, if I buy this house and I've got to leave it to somebody, and at the minute I've got nobody to leave it to, but hopefully I'm going to be alive for another 15 or 20 years or so, then I'll make me mind who the house can go to. But if it doesn't go to a person of my choosing, I'll leave it to a charity, and the charity will benefit from this. So again, it's all up in the air, what people do with their lives and things like that. But there are so many mean guys on here who expect to give their wives or partners absolutely nothing. So I can't get my head around that. There's a lot of mean and awful, spiteful guys who want to be with a Thai partner but don't want to give them anything. Crazy. Okay, let's go on. Just tuned in. Did you say you're going back to the... Yeah, I'm going back to the UK. I'll be back in the UK 4 weeks' time from today. I'm just going there for 6 weeks to visit my sister and the family and see some friends. And then I'm coming back for 2 weeks, and then I'm going to the Philippines for a month, maybe 2 months. Let's see how it goes. I found a wonderful lady that already had her own house. I don't need to worry about my name being on the title. I'm living off her. Well done. There are girls out there also. I mean, Ploy had her own house. She had her own house and a farm, but it was up in Karat. And I could have easily moved there. She asked me to move up to there for obvious reasons. Then she's back with her mum and dad. But life would have been totally different because she would have been expected to work on the farm. So she would have been working on the farm 5 o'clock until 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the evening. I would have been left at home all the time. So that wasn't the life that I wanted to. Where I live here, I get up when I want, I go where I want. I live by the sea. It's a beautiful location. Ploy's house was a beautiful house in a beautiful countryside setting, but not for me, because I would have been the only foreigner in the village. There was absolutely nothing in the village. Some people like that, the remoteness, but I was one of them that I wouldn't be able to do it. So horses for courses, but, good for you to find the girl with a house. Another friend of mine has found the girl, and she's got her own house as well. So, yeah, they are out there. Why did you force your wife to betray her son? Do you regret that you, anyway, 11-year marriage over some spare change? Well, you obviously haven't seen the videos. I didn't betray my wife. I give her options and she chose the option to go. I refused to spend money on a... I'll just get a bottle. I refused to spend money on a young man that was not very nice towards me or anybody else for that. He's lazy, idle, good for nothing. There's many other words I can say. He was the bad apple, and he always was going to be the bad apple. He chose that direction. For 9.5 years, I give Ploy an allowance, helped her mum and dad, because her mum and dad and the rest of her family are beautiful people, very nice people. But her son wasn't worth the shit on me shoe, to put it politely. So I refused to spend money on a person that never, ever showed me respect for the 8.5 years that I knew him. So that was my red line. And she did have options, and the option was to go and get a job. So she felt the pain of what she had to pay for him to go to rehab, because I refused to pay it. It didn't mean that we were going to finish. She made that decision, and that's the way she went. But again, you know, we all have our red lines, and what you see is a small snapshot of a situation. So therefore, that's my quick answer from it. And you either like it or lump it. And we weren't together for 11 years. We weren't together for 9.5 years. I thought my third was the last, but fell into a wonderful relationship. But there you go. Again, as I said, when I met Ploy, I wasn't looking for her, because I'd been single for 9 months. So I wasn't looking for a girlfriend. But then I found her on my birthday, because I was all ready to go and buy a van and go travel around Europe. So yeah, things like that happen. But now the door's open again, and I've got a single life, and I'm going to go and do what I want to go and do, because I've got more years behind us than I have in front of us. Les, has Thailand been affected by the fuel crisis? Yes, it has. It's gone up 10 baht, so it's about 25 pence a litre, which is quite a lot. Diesel has gone up quite a lot over here, because the government took the subsidy off the diesel, and then with what was going on in the Middle East, that's shot prices up with diesel and petrol. So everything's gone up, yes. So that will have a knock-on effect here, as it is around the rest of the world. I mean, the Philippines, apparently the petrol or fuel has gone up double the cost. So let's see what happens there. Greetings, Les. Hope you're well. Thanks very much. Yeah, I'm feeling very well. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for asking. And I'll come on to that in a minute. Have you still got the energy for all of this? I've still got loads of energy, yes. We all get down every now and then. I've had me down moments. You know, I'm not always this bubbly, not always this happy type of thing. But, you know, for me, the bad days make the good days feel much better. We all have bad days. I've always tried to provide for my wife. It is the hardest thing not now to be able to work and add more to the wife's future security. I do all that I can, take care of her now and plan for the future. Again, I've always been like that. I've always been a good provider. Never cheated, always been a good provider, but for some ladies, that's still not enough. Morning, boss. To see you bright and breezy again. Everything you have done has been through thought and comes from a good place. Life has many twists and turns, but today is today. Fantastic. Spot on, 100%. I'd agree with that. This is called financial coercion and is a form of domestic abuse. Okay, you have your thoughts about it, but I have my thoughts about it. Red lines are red lines. And it's up to me whether I want to support an addicted son that is good for nothing. Call it whatever you want to do. I call it, I've always helped Ploy's family out and Ploy for 9.5 years. I've never, ever had a problem. But this was the first problem. This is the first time I've said no. But of course, you're more than welcome to make a contribution for him to go if you want to, you know, make things better for him. You send the 40,000 baht for the fees for the rehabilitation centre. That I don't believe he'll stay there for the duration, because he's a bad apple and he always will be. But if you want to turn a bad apple into a good apple, please send me an email and send me the donation, and I'll gladly send it towards him. You can take over. What's your favourite Thai dish? Pad Kaprao or cow soy? Panang curry. Panang curry is my favourite, and green curry is the second. And chicken and cashew nuts. I've got about 5 or 6 Thai dishes. Time to grab the moment and crack on. Enjoy it, mate. I always enjoy. Let's have a look at this. Give me 1 second. Let me just. Okie dokie, right, there we go. Hang on. There we go. Yep, okay. Back onto it. Now just had something came up on my computer. I just had to click a couple of buttons. Yeah. Hi from the Florida, USA. Hello, Florida, USA. Only went to Florida once, took the kids to Disneyland. I love the countryside and loneliness. I know yourself too. Be honest with yourself, then be honest with others, especially that closest to you. Again, like, I'm an open book. If anybody asks the questions, and I've got a good friend base, if you like, to, you know, they phone me up or email me or call me on video to make sure I'm all okay, and I much appreciate that. I really do. But it's not my first rodeo. I've been divorced. This will be my 4th divorce. So I've been there, seen it, done it, got the T-shirt, know what the feelings are like. And if anything, this is probably the easiest divorce that I've ever had, financially wise and also emotionally wise. Not to say it hasn't been hard, which it has. And any breakup is hard, but I'm just getting through it. That's the way it goes. I'm a positive guy. I've made plans. I'm not just sat there, woe is me. There's things that I've done. I've kept busy. I've been to Patti a couple of times. I've been to Koh Samet. I'm going to Bangkok next week. Then I'm going to England. Then I'm going to the Philippines. So it's sort of opened new doors. And you've just got to poke your head round the door and see whether you like it or not, and then just, you know, go with the flow, go where you want to go and do what you want to do for as long as you can. I'm 65, 66 this year. So again, that clock is ticking, and if I don't do it now, when am I going to do it? So do it now. So then maybe it's 4, 5, 6 years time when I can't do it, I'm thinking to myself, I'm glad I did it, because now I can't do it. Open the door and see what happens. My own son was a bum and is now 38 years old. His mother and auntie still take care of him. I will not support him at all. And his mom and I are divorced. Partly because of, again, I've got nothing against her son. We never hit it off from day one, ever at all. And this was the last thing that I thought would happen. But where this motorbike goes. But having dealt with people on drugs, taking drugs, drug dealers, for 10 years, the last 10 years of my fire brigade career, I've never met somebody on drugs that's turned into a nice person at all. They've always been a cheat and a liar. And I know plenty of people, I'm not even going to go down that road. So no, you know, he is never, ever going to turn into a nice person, a nice pillar of society. But that's just my impression. I'd like very much to be proved wrong once. And I hope that he turns out to be a pillar of society, but I doubt it very much. Morning, Les. Looking good. You are still selling the house, yeah, the house is still up for sale. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, there's no big fuss about it. So anyway, I'm going to address quite a few issues now. From so many people said I look gaunt, I look ill because I'm dead skinny. I've lost loads and loads of weight. I've got to say, this was on purpose. This was on purpose. At my heaviest, I was 118 kilos. That is me, a big porker. And I put a little bit of weight on once I got past that. And I was going to buy size 44-inch pants. And that was my trigger moment to say I need to do something about it when I was 118 kilos. So I needed to do something about it. So the keto diet, I've been on the keto diet. And for all those people that are interested in the keto diet and stuff like that, I have a number of keto books that I used to lose all of this weight. I've lost 24 kilos. I'm 95 kilos now from 118. And I'm more than happy with the weight loss. Because if you have a look at the left picture, that was me, 118. Then the right, I just lost over 20 kilos then. So I was 98 kilos and I've lost even more weight from then. And that plastic bottle that I'm holding, that is our drinking water. We get that every couple of weeks or so. And that's 20 litres and that weighs 20 kilos. So 20 kilos, I was walking around with that extra 20 kilos, 24 hours a day. So I've lost a lot of weight, yes. And I don't mind. I look skinny in comparison to many of the videos that are on here, but I feel much better. I feel fitter. I feel more alive. I feel more healthier. I'm not any pills, potions, or lotions. My blood pressure is back to normal. So I'm okay. So all of those people who are feeling, go to the doctor's Les because you look very skinny and gaunt, and it's because I'm a skinny Les now and I've got saggy skin, like turkey neck. Turkey neck would go if I put another like 20 kilos back in, because the fat, if you want to get rid of wrinkles, put loads of weight on and then you'll eventually fill all that saggy skin in. So thanks very much for all the people who were showing concern that I'd lost a lot of weight, but purely intentional. And I've still got another at least 5 to 10 kilos that I want to lose. My ideal weight, according to the health statistics, is 85 kilos. I'm 6'1", 185 centimeters. So I should be around 12 to 13 stone, which is about 80 to 85 kilos. So let's see where we go from there. I'm still eating what I want to go and eat. I eat out a lot more than I used to eat before. So yeah, let's see how it goes. I'm sorry that you're in the current situation, but hope all the future will work out well. If coming over to the Philippines, then I recommend El Nido. Look it up. Truly beautiful place. I will put that on my little list of places where we go. I'm going to go meet my friend who lives in Dumaguete. Well, he lives in Dipolog, which is near Dumaguete. So he's going to sort of show me around. And because I showed him around Thailand. Him and his girlfriend are coming over here halfway through, I think 18th and 19th. So he's going to stay at my house for a couple of nights. And we'll just go from there. But yeah, I'm certainly going to have a look at the Philippines. He'll beat you for saying Disneyland is in Florida. That's California. Oh, is it? All right, Disney World in Florida. That's a pull up. Sorry. Okie dokie. Hi, Paul. You look healthy and skin is glowing. Thank you very much. You look a lot healthy. I feel a lot healthier. I really do feel good, yeah. Les, you should have gone have your coronary artery CT scans with a dye. Make sure that you're not blocked. My brother was on the keto diet too and lost weight, but I had clogged arteries. I've been for a CT. I got a CT scan done of my heart and my lungs. and I've got calcium build up, but it's 69, which is low. 0 is perfect, but I don't think anybody my age is going to end up with a 0. So it's 69. So it's on the very low scale. So I've already had the CT scan done of me heart and me lungs. They found a couple of pimples on me lungs, and they said, come back next year. And he said, they're less than 0.2 centimeters. So we're not even, or millimeters, wherever it was very low. And they said, unless it was more than that, then we don't even worry about it. It could be like little cysts or whatever. So I'm going to go about November, December time, have another CT scan, have the results measured against last year. It's only 9,500 baht to get them done, but my lungs were okay, and my lungs emphysema, but that was diagnosed a number of years ago. So there's still a little bit of emphysema, but it hasn't got any worse than what it was when it was diagnosed 2 or 3 years or so ago. So yeah, I'm all for getting all the blood tests done and things like that. I should be going for a blood test when I come back to Thailand. It's only 10,000 baht to go and get all the blood tests done and sort of a full medical. And it's best to catch anything early that's going to go wrong with you. I've got medical insurance, so I'm not worried about that as well. So yeah, look after yourself, because you only have the one body. And losing 24, 25 kilo helps your body tremendously against all your joints and everything else that goes along with being obese and overweight. And yes, I was obese and I was overweight. You can't throw good money at drug users. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a stepson. My own son was raised, and well, his mother. And yeah, again, throwing money at him isn't going to change him, because he's a lazy, idle, good for nothing, and he's never, ever going to change. A guy that I know came up with a fantastic phrase. He said, I know many hardworking people that have become lazy, but he said, I've never met one lazy person that's become very hardworking. And there's some truth in that. I was up to 46 waist, 126 kilo, now 90 kilo, 38, just everything. Just eat, watch when I eat, and how much, and a lot of walking. Yep. Again, I mean, I'm going to start walking on the beach every couple of days. I live in a beautiful location, only 8 minutes away from the beach, and it's lovely. Les, whatever you do, don't go back to the UK. There's nothing that I'm never, ever, ever, ever going to go back and live in the UK. That's for sure. But it's just, I'm going to have a look, going to see my sister, because as I say, she's recovered from cancer. She had half a lung taken out, so I'm going to go and see her. It's been a couple of years now since I was there. And now I've got the opportunity to go and do it, because I can go and do whatever I want to go and do now. To all, whoever you do it, be patient and take small, consistent steps. Okay. 68% is your coronary arteries is bad. No, it's a score of 69, not 68%. It's a score of 69 out of 500. I was expecting a score of between 200 or 300, because I've always been overweight almost all of me, well, since leaving school. So I expected a plaque build-up of cholesterol. I've always had high cholesterol because I've been overweight. But the score of, I think it's 500. I expected 250 to 300, and a score of only 69. It's not 68% blockaged. If it was 68%, then I'd be very, very worried. But no, I forget exactly what the terminology was, but I'm at the very low category, or very low risk group, and I'm happy with being in the very low risk group. Hi Les, could you still tell us more about Songkran for those who don't know what it is? Okay, yeah, Songkran is Thailand's New Year and welcoming of the wet season and things like that. So Songkran, it's got to be the most happiest country in the world for that Songkran. Everybody's happy, throwing water. It's a religious festival that's just got not out of hand, but everybody's just gone mad throwing water. Everybody, water gun fights. I'm going to Bangkok to Silom Road. There's two main places in Bangkok, Silom Road and Khao San Road. And Silom Road is maybe a mile and a half long, and several times during the day, all because there's different DJs and different parts of the street, they all sort of tune in the one record, and the whole street is singing along to one record. That's what I'm looking forward to. Imagine, hundreds of thousands of people all singing along at the same time, throwing water and splashing. I love Songkran. Pattaya does Songkran for about 9 or 10 days, and I used to go to Pattaya 2 or 3 times for the Songkran, and it was brilliant. And then when I come back from Bangkok, 2 days later, here in Banpei has their Songkran festival. Although Songkran is like officially 1 day or 2 days, different regions celebrate it on a different day. So everybody isn't doing it all on the same day. And 2 days later, I think 17th or 18th, when I come back home, Banpei does it. So I'll be out on Banpei as well. So I'll have had 3 days of fighting, water fighting, which is absolutely fantastic. Great music, great people, happy people. You can't wish for anything better. And that's what I'm looking forward to. So I hope that in a nutshell explains Songkran. It is very, for those people who like happy people and a fantastic vibe, come across here for Songkran. You're going to get wet every day, but it's good fun. Enjoy every day. None of us know the future. Exactly, 100%. And I've had 3 friends who've died in the past 4 months. And Michelle, the lady who runs a cat sanctuary, who will help out every now and then, her neighbour, who is from Finland, she just passed away yesterday. Michelle went to see her in the morning because she'd had a fall, and put her right, made sure she was okay. And then on the afternoon, she died. So sadly, again, we never know when our number's up. So if you don't enjoy the day, then it's a waste of a day. So if you're sad for 1 day, that's 1 day too many. Gordon. Oh, hello there, Gordon. Good afternoon. I'm back on the 4th of May. I'm back there for 6 weeks. So I booked my flight back home as well. Normally I would have waited until I got there, but because of the flight prices are going up, all the time. So I booked my flight. So I'm coming back on the 9th of June. So yeah, hopefully I'm with Oman Air, and up to now Oman Air haven't cancelled any of the flights because their land sort of in the Middle East as well. But up to now, they've always had 100% flying record. So fingers crossed. I'll be looking out the window for missiles. I hope I don't see one. Oh yeah, okay, gone. I'll message you, matey, no problem. Looking forward to a few beers and up at Stewie's for breakfast. Les, how much did you sold your house for? And who bought the house? I haven't sold the house. Nobody's bought it yet. It's still up for sale. The asking price is around 4 million, up to negotiation. You can always start high and go low, but you can never go low and ask for high. So there's a few people said it's overpriced, but when you live in among every other house that's around here is a nice house. It's a nice area. It's a nice village. A lot of more expensive houses in this area than mine as well. Happy days. Okay, Gordon. Thanks very much, mate. Looking forward to a par more. We'll have another par more. Nice to see you, Les and Rayang now. 3 Trees Beach and She Sails, both places to chill out. Yeah, I like She Sails. She Sails is brilliant. Tonight there'll be a band on, so I'm going to go there for a couple of drinks tonight. Saturday and Sunday they have a bar. Saturday and Sunday they have a band on. The last time I was there, they had a guitarist, a vocalist, and a violinist. So it was a good night. I was there, a good 2 or 3 hours I was there. So I shall be there tonight after 6 o'clock. Hi Les, your complexion looks better colour today. You're looking a lot better than some of your previous videos where you talking about ejection fraction 70% is normal. Just follow the doctor's advice. I mean, I'm using a different camera and different lighting compared to a couple of other videos. Maybe the lighting wasn't the best on the other videos, especially me coffee corner. And yeah. On this camera that I've got, I'm using this one now. It's done with a camera app, and you can alter the ISO, the brightness, the tint, and also like that. On the last video, it looked a little bit reddish, so I've altered the colors now, so maybe it looks a little bit better than what it did the last time. But thanks very much for mentioning it. Thank you very much. Last time I came to Thailand, immigration said to me, I need a retirement visa to get in next time. I've been 58 times in 36 years. Funny situation. Yeah. Well, Thailand are tightening down on their visa. There are a lot of people flouting the law. And although they've mentioned it a few times, going to change it from 60-day down to 30-day, as of today, they still haven't changed it yet. So, and with the Middle East crisis, what's happened, the tourism has shrunk as well. So Thailand is going to get hit with a double whammy if they carry on doing all of these things with the visas, because already they're frightening people off with the visa situation, with the people doing the border runs and things like that. And again, people are going elsewhere. They should make things a lot easier, a lot simpler over here to attract the people. The Chinese aren't coming. The Indians are at the minute the culture of choice, because there's hundreds and hundreds. I've never seen so many Indians in Pattaya before. But the Indians don't spend a lot of money, and they certainly don't sit in the bars like foreigners do. So again, I think Thailand are shooting themselves in the foot, and they're driving people that would come to Thailand away and sending them to Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos. And yeah, so it's their own fault, really, making things complicated and changing one rule to another rule to another rule. It doesn't sustain sustainability. And again, for me, and again, but this is my own point, and I'm not one to complain about it, for those people who are retired here, who are giving their, I have to show 65,000 baht a month to live here, so I'll spend most of that over here anyway. They should sort of help them out a little bit more and make life a little bit easier for them, because when all said and done, they are the long stays who are supporting Thailand, not just the tourists. The tourists come, spend the money quick, and then go. Maybe Thailand like that type of thing. Maybe they just want the tourists to come and the retirees to go somewhere else. But I've never, ever felt not welcome over here. It's been great. I'm now based in Siem Reap because I'm not prepared to put the 800k into a Thai bank. Well, you don't need to put the 800k. You can do it through the income method at 65,000 a month, which is what I'm doing. Or again, you could use an agent, and they'd put the money in the bank for you. Your big ups, yeah, gas. Question: would you do a vlog on the process of claiming your UK pension from abroad? Well, that's another reason why I'm going back to the UK, because I'm going to apply for my UK pension from the UK, because I can do it 3 or 4 months beforehand. But because I'm living in Thailand, my pension's going to be frozen, that's for sure. Whereas that's another reason why I'm looking at the Philippines as well, because if I go to the Philippines, even if I just live in the Philippines for 6 months of the year, and I have my long-term visa and I have a long-term rental over in the Philippines, I can get my pension every time it goes up. Every April I get the increase. So let's see where we go from there. If I don't sell the house, then I could live in the Philippines for 6 months, and I can live in Thailand for 6 months or 3 months, whichever way I want to choose, because in 3 years' time, the loan will be paid for on the house. So I'm rent free in Thailand, and I'll be paying a little bit of rent in the Philippines. So let's see how we go. Again, I'm just poking my head around the corner from the door, and we'll see where we go from there. I've noticed prices, even grocery stuff in the shops, creeping up here in the Philippines. Not by much, but I've seen it. Not sure if there's, in Thailand it's creeping up as well. It'll creep up a lot more now with what's gone on in the Middle East, as with Philippines. Like the Philippines, their petrol prices have doubled, I understand. £5 donation, thank you very much, much appreciated. Can I ask a personal question? What in your life brings you to Thailand? Job, retirement, divorce, other influences? Okay, I'll answer that personal question. Thank you very much for asking. What brought me to Thailand in the first place is I discovered Thailand 24 years ago. And I discovered that the people in Thailand weren't as wealthy as us in the Westerners. And I had 3 jobs. I lived in the road where everybody kept up with everybody else, the Mr. Joneses. So therefore, I was working and I had a lot of money coming in, but I had a lot of debt as well. And when I discovered the people of Thailand, the poorer they were, the more happier the people I could see. And people with no money still had a smile on their face. So I'm thinking to myself, these people have nothing in comparison to what we have, but they seem to be much happier people. And because that's just the way it is, they've accepted that. And that was 26 years ago that I discovered that. So I've always liked Thailand. And yes, I did split up with my Chinese wife. We've been traveling around the world for 2 years. She decided she wanted to go back to England and work in the coffee shop that I met her in. And I didn't want to go back to England. So sadly, we split up after traveling around the world for 2 years. So Thailand for me was the perfect fit. Again, that door opened, I set foot into Thailand, and I've never regretted it since because it's been a wonderful place. Cost of living is extremely cheap. I mean, look at the house that I'm living in. I could never, ever, ever, ever afford this in the UK. So I live in Thailand. I love the people, friendliness, very, very little crime. So it ticks all of the boxes. Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect, but I don't think there's anywhere in the world that's perfect. But for me, at the minute, Thailand ticks all the boxes. But now I'm going to go and look at the Philippines, and I'll see if that ticks a few boxes as well. We shall see. Again, but I'll be doing my vlogs all over the place from wherever I'm going to go, and I'll give my honest opinion because I never, ever sugarcoat anything or everything. I'll tell it how it is. I hope I'm still moving and shaking when I'm at your age. I always thought 65 was old. When I was 19-year-old and I joined the fire brigade and they said I could retire at 50, and I'm thinking, well, 50 is old, but 65 was, you're really old at 65. But I've got to say, now that I'm here at 65, I don't feel that old. I really don't. Maybe it's ache when I get up first thing in the morning, but when everything's moving and grooving, it's great. So that's why I want to do the things that I want to do now, because in another 4 years' time, when I'm 70, I might not be wanting to do all of the same things again. So yeah, you are as old as you feel, and because I've lost the 24 kilos, you feel much better in yourself as well. I can tell you from experience from living in the Philippines, if you live outside the big city, then expect regular power cuts. I not want to stay in Manila and need the power cut. Yeah, well, I'd get solar. I'd put a little bit of solar for a backup. Like I put solar in this house. I've got solar in this house, and I think we've only had 2 or 3 power cuts. But then I can still watch the TV. We've still got the internet. We've still got the fans. So everything's okay, and it doesn't cost a lot of money to get a backup system for solar. That's what I do if I live in the Philippines. Even if I rented a house, I'd do that. I don't have the 800,000, but I got the 65 a month. Could I get the? Yes, you can. You can get the visa, because that's where I'm transferring mine now from a marriage visa over to a retirement visa based on income. There's a couple of ways you can do that. You can, first of all, the easiest way is to get an agent to get you your visa for the first year. That'll cost you 35 to 45,000 baht. So you get a 15-month visa. And then during that 15 months, you put 65,000 into your bank account every month. And it has to be just in your name, not a joint name with a Thai person. It has to be in your name. And then 12 months later, you can go and get your renewal of your retirement visa based on the income method, because you can show then that for the past 12 months, you've had 65,000 coming into your bank account. That's what I'm going to do. Marriage visa, I only needed to show, noisy car. Marriage visa, I only needed to show 40,000 baht a month, but retirement visa, so from last December, I was starting to put 65,000 into the bank every month, so I can, next December when my marriage visa finishes, then I can go and transfer it over to my retirement visa by showing the 65,000 baht a month income into the bank. So yeah, it can be done, no problem. There we go. I just got my retirement through and my NHS pension through. I am planning to research retirement destination, visit a few countries, get your UK pension claimed and get it on the UK. Yeah, the UK is grim. There's sort of nothing. There's nothing that would interest me to come back to England at all, I've got to say. I mean, it's beautiful. The sun shines here. It's nice and warm. The sea's beautiful. The people are nice. The crime rate is next to zero. There's crime everywhere in the world, but again, it's just a relaxing place. I sleep well at night, that's for sure. 65,000 a month. Has this to stay in the bank account? No. You can. All you need to do is show 65,000 coming into your bank account. You can spend it all the same day if you want, as long as every month, 65,000 comes in, and you can spend it. That's what I'm saying. You can spend the 65,000 a month, but your 800,000, you're only allowed to go down to 400,000. And now with that 800,000, especially if you're in Bangkok Bank, the immigration want to see it 2 months before your renewal of your visa, and it has to be in the bank for 3 months afterwards to tick all the boxes for the immigration department. But Bangkok Bank freeze that 800,000 for four months of the year. So freeze it so you can't draw it out. So that's the Bangkok Bank. And whether Kasikorn or the other banks follow suit or not, I don't know. But that's a little bit mean, I think, to freeze your 800,000, because some of the people who can't afford the medical insurance over here use that 800,000 baht as an emergency fund to pay any hospital trips. Because let's face it, if you drop below 400,000 baht anyway, you won't get your visa renewed. But some people may want to use that 800,000 for emergency medical treatment. But then the following year, you could use an agent to get your retirement visa again. So there's always ways around it. But now the banks have frozen that 800,000 for 4 months. In effect, for 4 months of the year, you can't draw, even for emergencies, you can't draw it out. So yeah, again, I'm sure I've said thank you very much. So yeah, thank you very much for the £5 donation or $5 donation, and I hope the personal question is answered for you. Thank you very much. Right, where we go. Okay, I'm just scrolling down now because there's a lot of questions coming. Hey up, Les. Doing my house up, ready to put on the market. Hopefully will be sold by August. Then I'll be having 10 weeks in Thailand from October. Oh, good. October is a good time to come. It's sort of coming up to the end of rainy season, cool season, and it does feel much cooler, without a doubt. It's hot and sticky now. This is the hottest part of the year. It's 37 in Bangkok at the minute, so around here it's about 34, 35. And yet, it's nice. I'm sweating, I know. I'm like, but I can just still sit in front of a fan. We don't need the air conditioning on. I certainly don't put the air conditioning on for more than half an hour when I go to bed, because the fan is still suffice to keep us cool. Again, my electricity bill, because we don't use, I keep saying we don't, I mean, I do not use the air conditioning because I don't need to use it. Sleeping in the underneath the fan is good enough for me. My electricity bill was 302 baht. My water bill, I just got the water bill in this morning, 18 baht. 18 baht for the month. Hi Les, how is the temperature in Rayong? My girlfriend lives near I'm not Sharon and is struggling with the heat at 39 degrees. She says in some areas it's 40, 42. Yeah, I heard it's going to get up to maybe 60 in certain parts of Thailand. And I'm honestly saying I don't really struggle with the heat. I'm okay. And maybe it's got acclimatized to it now. But I'd certainly sooner be warm sitting in front of a fan than be cold sat in front of a gas fire. But I would say for those people who are coming over here, don't get used to sitting with the air conditioning on 24 hours a day, because then you won't go outside. Then every day is a hot day. But if you just acclimatise to it, again, the house that I've got, it's got overhanging ceiling or overhanging roof, so that protects the wall from getting warmed up. We've got insulation in the roof. I've got fans everywhere. We open the back door, we open the front door, so there's cross ventilation of the house, so all that warm air comes through the house and leaves out one door or the other. So the house is a pretty cool house, I've got to say. Do the most to shade the walls, because it then just works like a thermal block. It just stores the heat. Then on the night time, you've got to cool that warm brick up before you start feeling the cool. So yeah, there's things you can do. Yeah, solar is becoming more popular here. Also something like Jackery or EcoFlow, get the solar rigged up if you have the dosh. Yeah, again, the solar here, it probably cost me about £500. But for me, it's £500 well spent, because a couple of times it's been gone out. I can still watch the TV, still work on the computer, and we have the fans that we can use all the time as well. And I'm going to put an extra socket in the kitchen now, because the batteries are topped up by lunchtime. So I'm going to put another socket in the house so I can use the microwave. So the electricity bill next month might only be like 200 baht, something like that. I just like playing around, so I'll see what I can do. But certainly if I did live in the Philippines, I'd be putting a cheap backup solar power system in, just for fans and to watch the TV with the internet. You have big knowledge of solar. You should supply consultation service. So expats, surveys, extra income, 2+ is something to do. No, I'm not a big expert on solar. I learned everything through YouTube. Even though I was a qualified electrician in the UK, electrics and solar, there's a lot of difference. There is a lot of difference, and I was still learning through solar. So I'm not an expert in solar. I still have to look at the manuals, the books, and YouTube to be able to do my solar. But it works. I've got it to work, and it works happy, because I do a lot of research before I do anything. And I would recommend anybody, there's no need to go and pay thousands of dollars to get a top of the range system so you can run all your air conditioning at night, because all you need is a couple of fans. All you need is a small system so you can sit in front of a fan or you can watch the TV, because the payback for such a large system is 7 to 10 years. My payback for my place is when the electricity goes off, I can watch the TV and I can watch the fan, and that's the total cost of 500 quid. And I'm sure somebody that doesn't have a fan or watch TV for 4 or 5 hours would gladly pay a couple of hundred quid just so they could do it. So again, it's horses for courses. Do what you need to do, but I'd certainly never ever put a full solar system in any property. I just need a backup system. Getting divorced in Thailand whilst relying on marriage visa is risky business. Many Farangs got trapped that way. Getting divorced in Thailand whilst relying on a marriage visa is risky business. It takes two to get divorced. It takes two to get divorced over here. And me and Ploy, we've talked about this already. And we're going to get divorced, the official paperwork in December. Again, it was an amicable divorce, and there was no fighting, shouting and screaming or whatever. And so that's how we worked it out. But in reality, if I didn't want to get divorced, she could take me to court through lawyers and things like that, and I could delay it until December. But if that ever did happen where she insisted that she wanted a divorce now, I can still do that. And then come here on a retirement visa, come here on a tourist visa. When I go back to England, apply for a retirement visa so I can show the income method in England and do it that way. So it's no problem. Whichever way it went, there was always a solution, and it was never, ever difficult. I'm in China now from the heartbreak of Thailand. Safe, cheap, friendly people, and in the mountains, 2 hours away from Bangkok. I should go. China. You're in China now. Oh, okay. I am in China now from the heartbreak of Thailand. Safe, cheap, friendly people. I've been to China I've been to China once, but I've been to Beijing, Shanghai, and Xi'an. And as much as I like Beijing and Shanghai, I felt you were getting ripped off and you're getting robbed by every taxi driver, everybody that could. I got ripped off, £120 for 6 cups of tea in Shanghai. But they deserved it, and I applaud them for it. Was so professional, the rip-off. But no, I'll give China a miss. I've been to the place that I want to go. The Great Chinese Wall went up there as well. It's good. Another $5 donation. Thank you very much. Right, let's have a look. Okay. I will be moving to Thailand as soon as I can finish up my divorce, possibly 60, 90 days from now. Been visiting Bangkok for many years. Thank you. Well, I hope everything goes well with your divorce. Divorces are never easy. I've been through 3 divorces, and this 4th divorce is going to be the easiest I feel out of the other 3. And the other 3, 2 of the divorces were very financially punishing. But my Chinese wife, it didn't cost me anything to get divorced because I wasn't living in the country. And again, that was just, she was told by the solicitor that if she initiated the divorce, then I would have to pay. But what she didn't take into account, because I wasn't habitually resident in the UK, she couldn't divorce me for the 2 years anyway. So it was after a 2-year mutual separation, then she got divorced by default. But again, solicitors, you are the cash cow. And I had a great argument with her solicitor, saying that you want me to lie so we can go through the divorce. I said, no. I said, I'm not habitually resident in the UK, so stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Is that the reason for the divorce? What the reason for the divorce? The reason for the divorce is because I refused to pay for her drug-addicted son to go to rehab. I said if she wanted to pay for his rehab, then go get a job and pay for it. I didn't have any problems with that. But that was my red line crossed, is that he's always been a bad apple, and I didn't want to sponsor somebody to go to rehab. He had the choices, he made that choice, and I wasn't going to be paying for it. Long story short, a short, snappy version of what actually happened, but no, I wasn't prepared to spend money on somebody that wasn't worth the effort. Les, do you think you would have a harder time dealing with loneliness if you broke up in your mid-30s compared to now, with years of wisdom stacked up? no, loneliness is loneliness. Have I been lonely? Yes, I have. Have I felt lonely? Yes, I have. Have I felt question myself, why has this happened again? Yes, I have. I've done all of that lot. But the wisdom comes in the thought, again, I'm a nice guy. I think I'm a nice guy. I've always been a provider, and I've always been honest, honorable, reliable, trustworthy, all of them things. And the sad part about it is that what is the women that I maybe picked the wrong women, I don't know, but who would want to throw somebody away? Isn't that what every woman wants? Somebody who's totally honest, reliable, trustworthy, and always, loving and respectful towards them. For me, that ticks all the boxes. And if I wasn't good enough, or for her to fight and say, listen, I don't want to leave her, I want to sort this problem out, she never said that. She never said that at all. And so I thought, well, if I'm not worth fighting for, she's going to walk away from the house, the pension, from a good husband, from a reliable person, for a drug addicted son. And I've got no problem. I take my hat off for Ploy for sticking by her son. But there were other solutions that could have been solved. We could have solved this problem. But she didn't. Her first choice was to walk away. So if I'm not worth fighting for, why would I want to fight to keep somebody? That's my opinion. And not everybody's going to agree with that. But for me, that was the red line. She was laid in the hammock watching a TikTok while I was giving her allowance every month. And that allowance, majority of it was getting spent on her son going to rehab, who didn't give a toss about me or anybody else. And sorry, there are deserving people in the world that deserve a second chance, but he never, ever showed any worthiness of spending that money. Anyway, that's a sort of long-winded version of it. How much did you pay for your glasses? 199 baht from 7-Eleven. They're not, they're just reading glasses from 7-Eleven, 199 baht. I got a pair of spectacles made in the UK when I was there, because I've had mono vision. I had laser treatment done, so one eye is short distance and the other eye is long distance, so I could actually read without wearing glasses. But that was 12 years ago now. And what they didn't tell you, that your eyesight still deteriorates even though you've had the laser treatment. So now I need glasses on to read now, because if I take my glasses off, it's blurry on the right, on the comment. So I keep my glasses on. But these are just 199 baht from 7-Eleven, and they're good. They're good compared to the £70 pair of glasses I paid from Specsavers in the UK. I put them on, and the writing was all. And they said, "Oh, that's because you've had laser vision and one eye's trying to fight with the other." I said, "Listen," I said, "I've got these 199, they're like £4. She said, "Oh, they're just magnifying glasses." I said, "Well, I work. I put them on. The writing doesn't go everywhere. Whereas the glasses that you've made me," I said, "I can't put them on because the lines are moving, everything's moving." I said, "Well, you'll get used to it. You'll get used to it." I said, "I don't need to get used to it." So I put them on, and it works. "Do you want your money back?" I said, "Yes, please. 70 quid. So yeah, 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven is very good over here. Hi Les, just got on sitting in the Lanny at 38 degrees watching on the TV. 38 is hot, isn't it? But I'm sat outside. I put the table, there's a different view now, whereas you're facing that way before, but now I've extended the internet cable, so you've got a different view. And there's me hammock that I was on this morning. So I'm sat outside. My settee is just there. The camera makes everything go around the wrong way. So yeah, we sit. Stop saying we. Stop saying we. I sit outside all the time, a lot of the time, because we've got 2 or 3 different seating areas that I sit outside, and it's wonderful. So there's always a bit of a breeze outside. So I like sitting outside. Nice view, mate. Yeah, it's a beautiful house. That that house behind us, isn't it? It's beautiful. And again, we have a coconut plantation, which is just over here. So I'm not directly overlooked, and it's quiet, and you can probably hear all the birds in the background. It's beautiful. Any snakes getting into the house? I've had 2 snakes got into the house, grass snakes, and I don't know what the other one was, but it wasn't. They weren't venomous. And I've got to say, after living here for 13 years, I've never ever seen a cobra around here. Well, I've never seen a cobra anywhere, and long may that last. I've seen a few rat snakes and things like that, and I've seen a few snake skins on the back wall. You know, maybe it's a meter or so long, so quite a big snake. But I've only seen small snakes, and the 2 snakes that got into the house, they didn't get out. They didn't get out alive. Killed them. You know, I don't like snakes. So yeah, only 2 in the house, and I've never really bothered. I take big steps in the opposite direction if I see a snake, but thankfully, I've never really seen. I've seen at most maybe 5 or 6 snakes out of the 8 years I've been here, so that's not too bad, is it? But they are here by all accounts, and again, they don't like human beings either. So if I'm in the garden every day, and there's a few places where I've been gathering up leaves, and snakes like living underneath leaves, so I've got a big stick and I'll just bang that area, and you know, so if there's anything there, it'll frighten it off. It's a different way of living here. You've got to check to make sure, because if you get bit by a cobra here, 30 minutes and you're gone. And again, because we're surrounded by lakes here, there's a lot of lakes here. So where there's lakes, there's frogs and there's other creatures because they like the water. So the snake population will probably spend a lot of the time round about the lakes areas. But no, it doesn't bother me, the snakes. An amicable divorce is a very rare thing indeed. Thank goodness for small. Yeah. Again, it's amicable up until the point it isn't amicable, I suppose. But I believe Ploy, she's a decent person. She isn't one of these people who will be, fingers crossed, saying that he's going to be vindictive. She's got a problem. She's going to deal with it. And it was her decision to go. So she signed the car and the motorbikes. Everything else was signed over to me. The house, she can't do nothing about the house because the rent to buy agreement was between me and the landlady. So there's nothing she can do there. And the fact that she signed the car and the motorbikes over to me, because they were in her name, because we got them on finance, and we could only get the finance if it was in her name. So we got them both on finance, and I never bothered getting the names changed over, because why bother get it changed over just so I can say it's in my name? You know, I don't live like that. If I didn't trust Ploy at the time, then I would never have bought it in the first place. But there's a guy fixing the water pipe at the front of the house. Swear to God. Yeah, the front of the house where our water meter is, it's just been leaking. So the lady came today for the money to pay for the water bill, which was 18 baht. So I explained in my best Thai, and with the help of translator, that it was leaking, and so showed her. So here we are on a Sunday afternoon, maybe 2 hours after the lady collected the money, the 18 baht for the water. There's a guy fixing the leaking water pipe now on a Sunday, 2 hours, and it's going to be done. So where were we? Have you ever been to Norway? No, I've never been to Norway. Currently -5 in hometown, 41 in Songkran. Is better fan than AC, isn't it? Yeah, again, sat in front of a fan. 41 is hot, isn't it? So So yeah, you're going to get a little bit of warm. It's going to be up to 60 somewhere apparently. That's very high, 60s. What can be done about the gender disparity in immigration hoops when fearing women marry? Oh, I have no idea. Above my pay grade for that. How is the house sale going? We are selling our house in Pattaya. Lots of interest, but nothing concrete. Yeah, same as here. I've had something like 14,000 views, or 14,000 views. A few people said that they're interested, but a few tire kickers. Nothing certain yet. A few people have said it's overpriced, but I fail to see how somebody can say it's overpriced if they haven't even been to the area. There's a lot of high price, high value houses around this area. And again, other people say you can get that for 2 million. Yeah, you get this house for 2 million if it's, not in a desirable location. But this is a desirable location. Not many houses come up for sale here. But then I'm always going to blow in my own trumpet, aren't I? You can only say what you say once you've seen it. Pardon me. It's great to see you in a positive mood. Always in a positive mood. But thanks very much for saying that. Brian, I've had me down moments. Everybody has the down moments. But basically, I'm a positive guy anyway. Crying over it and being fed up with yourself and unhappy with yourself isn't going to fix it. I do things around the house. I also do, we have our brunch club every week. I've been out with friends for barbecues and stuff like that. I've got things in the future. Going to Bangkok next week or so on the 13th, and I'm going to the UK, then I'm going to the Philippines. So I've made plans, and with plans comes excitement. Noisy motorbikes. So with plans comes excitement, because then it's another adventure. I've never been to the Philippines before. I'm looking forward to going and seeing my family and friends in the UK, but it's only going to be for a short visit. So that's what I'm saying. You can stew in your own stew and be upset about it, but it's only you that can do something about it. And your life is in your hands, the happiness or the sadness, but there's things you can do about it. Let's have a look. Do tell the Shanghai cup of tea rip-off story. Hang on, let me see what else is down there, and I'll tell you the Shanghai rip-off story. Some guys would fall into a trap and end up broke. I know a couple of guys that have fell into the trap and fell broke. But to be honest, there's no need for that. You can make provisions over here so you don't lose everything. It's those people who are naive to everything and thinking it's never ever going to happen to them, and it does happen to them. You are a very good man, Les, and I take my hat off to you. So to just keep on enjoying life as you do. Thanks very much for that. Much appreciated. Yes, they want to, but only on their terms. Hi, everybody. Hi, all. Does UK holiday insurance cover medical expenses? I don't know. Every insurance policy is different, so you need to check before you come. Make sure that you have got travel insurance, because if you don't have travel insurance or health insurance and you have an accident or something, it can be very, very expensive. Good day, Les. Look well. The 60 temperature is that feels like temperature. Mid-40s is the real. Oh, okay. Maybe I'd read that wrong then. Pattaya is crazy. 10th of April till the 19th. Yeah, that's why I always like Pattaya, because soy 7 is probably the best soy for water fighting. I love soy 7 for water fighting. Towards the bars, towards the end, where towards the beach. Okay, the rip-off story in Shanghai. £120 for 6 cups of tea. And I've got to say, I didn't feel ripped off up until I was escorted to the ATM, and then it was going through my mind. So I had a Thai girlfriend, and I took her to China. Well, I actually met her in China, because I flew back to England, flew to Japan, then flew to China, and I was meeting my Thai girlfriend in China. So this was on our second day of our holiday. So I wasn't au fait with the money as to how much the yen is, or whatever it was. So the money side of it didn't compute compared to pounds, Thai baht, and then Chinese currency, wherever it is. I forget what it is. So we were in Shanghai doing the photograph things, and me and Wow at the time, my first Thai girlfriend that I had here, taking pictures of each other. And this two Chinese people and a little son or little boy with them. So they were on holiday. So they came up to me and Wow and said, "Oh, excuse me, do you speak English?" I said, yeah. Oh, would you mind taking a photograph of me, my wife, and my son, with a Shanghai background? I said, yeah, no problem. Taking a photograph. He spoke perfect English, absolutely perfect English. And because my first girlfriend also could speak English, the Chinese woman was talking to Wow, where you come from? Oh, we come from Thailand. Oh, yeah. And they were asking, where are you going? What are you doing? I said, oh, we're going to Beijing, and then we're going to go to Xi'an to see the terracotta. Oh, we live in Xi'an. So he said, there's plenty of places you're going to get ripped off in Xi'an. So we will give you our telephone number and email number. So when you come to Xi'an, we'll meet you and we'll make sure we don't get ripped off. So straight away, it's like, oh, that's nice, because there was plenty of people to try and rip me off. The taxi drivers, everybody in day two, and I'm thinking, you're just getting ripped off for everything here. So the trust becomes straight away. Oh, and he started writing his email address. I said, well, give us it later. I said, just send it to me on my phone. So I give him my phone number. He gave me his phone number. So the trust is built up there. And he said, oh, we're going to a tea ceremony here. It's just round the corner. He said, come with us. I said, well, it's a very famous tea place. He said, it's worth you going. He said, we've come all the way from Xi'an to come and we said, okay, we'll come with it. And they just talked about how you're doing, how your trip, just put you at ease and spoke perfect English. So then we went into this tea house, which was all beautiful. The ladies come in the authentic Chinese dresses and robes and things like that. It was all very smartly decorated and that. And I get my camera out to take the photo. And he said, no, you can't take photographs. He said, it's one of them things. He said, it's not meant, it's a ceremonial thing. Like, it's like, oh, okay. So anyway, they did all these tea, and the background music was on. There was him, his wife, and his son, or whatever it was. Maybe they borrowed him for the day as well. And me and Wow. So small cups of tea, little tea, and the music, it was just so beautiful and, nice surroundings and that. And this went on for about half an hour. And then it finished. And he said, listen, I'd like to buy you this. He said, is a present from us and saying thank you very much. So we give the woman the cost of the tea ceremony party. And he fanned the money out so you could see. And I think, oh, that looks a lot. And then he said, there's your present. So it was a teapot with 3 or 4 cups or 4 cups in it. And then they give me the bill, and they said, oh, your bill is this. And it was like, I said, I haven't got that much money on me. Already seeing and feeling a little bit embarrassed that the fact that he'd already paid for the tea and I'd seen a bunch of money, and he bought me this tea box. And I'm thinking, don't worry, there's an ATM around the corner. So he kept on talking to us, getting to the ATM. Then I pressed in the money, and then it was clicked. That's about 120 quid. 120 quid for 6 cups of tea. So then I felt embarrassed because he was there, and the lady who did the tea ceremony in all the fine garb, robes and things like that. So when I handed over this money, I'm thinking, 120 quid, but I didn't think it was a scam. Then I went back to the hotel thinking 120 quid for 6 cups of tea. Now I read the book, the information, and it says, if you're invited to a tea ceremony, do not go because it's likely to be a scam. And like, bing, the donkey's ears came on, scammed. But it was it took me out off to the scam, 120 quid for 6 cups of tea. Went to the police and they said it happens all the time. We're not going to do anything about it, because I couldn't remember the street, where it was, nothing. So yeah, it just put me on my guard even more in China. But anyway, that was the Chinese rip-off story. I hope you give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the Chinese £120 for 6 cups of tea. I can't see how many thumbs up on it, but if you're getting good value from this, give it a thumbs up. It all helps the YouTube type of thing. So thanks very much. But again, this is your chance to ask any questions. An international driving license is valid for 1 year, but it can only be used for 3 months in Thailand. That's correct. Hit the like button, guys. Yeah, I'm just saying that, Bill. Thanks very much, Bill, for reminding everybody as well. Man, it's hot here in the Philippines. Great to see you, Les. Only a week away now. Yeah, okay, Trace. I'm looking forward to it. It's still hot over here as well. So theoretically, I can take a 2-wheel motorcycle lessons and test. Yes, you can. You can do your whole motorbike test. I did, because when I arrived here in Thailand, I didn't have my motorbike license. So this is when I lived in Jomtien for 2 years. So although I had medical insurance, if you had an accident on a motorcycle over here and you don't have a license, then the medical insurance won't cover you for having an accident. So I took my motorbike license test, and it was a 3-hour video, which was very boring. And then there was the theoretical test. So all the questions, because you've watched the movie for 3 hours, there's lots of questions that the answers are in the movie. So it wasn't difficult to do. When you did your theory test, computer came over with 3 or 4 different choices. So you picked the right one. So I passed the theory test, and the actual practical test took all of 2 minutes to do. So within 1 day, from start to finish, I'd passed my driver's license test for my motorbike, and I've never looked back since. So yeah, it's easy enough to do. It's not difficult at all to do it, and it's not expensive. And over here, even if you've never drove a car, you can go for a driver's license to drive a car, and it costs about 5,000 baht, which is about 120 quid, and that is over a 3 or 4 day period, and they'll teach you how to drive. An English-speaking teacher will be able to teach you how to drive, and 3 or 4 days, and you'll have your Thai driver's license. Les, when you go back to England, consult an accountant. You can have non-resident for tax purposes. Therefore, you pay tax on your pensions. Which will make up for your frozen pension. Now, I was told that because it's a UK pension, I will be taxed on my pension from the fire brigade. So it's always going to be taxed, no matter what, even to become a non-tax resident, because my tax will always, but I'll have a look, I'll ask the question, yes. But as far as I'm aware, my pension's always taxable. My international driving license in the UK is for 3 years. Yeah, but it only covers you for 90 days here in Thailand. Majority of police will just say, yeah, okay, because you've got an international driver's license, but you need the international driver's license and your UK driver's license. And if you don't have both of them, they can still fine you. And 9 times out of 10, they'll just, if you stay there like for 4 months, they'll just wave you on because they don't want to do the calculations in the head. But be prepared that they can fine you. And especially now, they said they're going to implement a lot more driving regulations, and the fines have gone up. They've said the warning period has gone now, so now it's time for taking action. So they will fine you if you don't comply with the law, like for not wearing a helmet or having no insurance. I might be wrong, but I think you need a long-term visa now to get a Thai driving license. I don't know about that. I got mine on a tourist visa, so So I don't know. Cracking story. Thanks very much. I haven't been ripped off by many places, but that was probably the most I've ever been ripped off for. I got shortchanged from a money exchange place in Bali, but I lost 20 quid out. I exchanged £100 and I got £20 less than I expected. They did a short, sharp shuffle. And again, it's one of them other things when I looked and I think, 80 quid. I've only got 80 quid. I should have got £100 worth. But then they show you how they do it. Again, it was one of them things, I'm getting a good rate from this guy here from the money box. Because in Thailand, certainly in Pattaya, you've got your money exchange booths. And they had money exchange booths in Bali. And we thought they worked the same way, but no. We were surrounded by half a dozen guys. And as he was counting the money, somebody else distracted my attention. So he just looked. And the minute you look at somebody else, that's when the deal short shifted and robbed me of 20 quid or £20 worth of Balinese money. So it happens everywhere. You've just got to be aware of these things. Happy Easter, sir. God bless you. Thank you very much. Happy Easter to you also. I hope you're enjoying your bank holiday weekend. Do you play Songkran? Yes, I'm looking forward to it. That's why I'm going to Bangkok for. Because Siloam Road, in Bangkok, there's Siloam Road and then there's Khao San Road. Two totally different locations, but Siloam Road is supposed to have it ticked off. And what I'm going for, because at certain parts of the day, there's different DJs all down Siloam Road, and they're all playing their own little bit of trance music or whatever. But they all link up with it. There's one or two songs that they play, and every DJ will play the same song. So the whole length of Siloam Road plays the one song, and everybody starts singing to it. So I'm looking forward to that. That should be good fun. I'm going to take my camera. I bought even though I've got a DJI action camera, which is supposed to be waterproof, I bought a waterproof case for it as well. So I shall be taking pictures there. And I'm so looking forward to it, because full of happy-go-lucky people. I'm really looking forward to it. The hotel's been paid. It was paid for 6 months ago. And so the only thing I've got to do is get down there. It's about a 3-hour drive down to Bangkok. So I'll be leaving about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning to get there, because the 13th is the day that it all kicks off there. So I'm going to get there early, and I've got my Songkran shirts, flowery shirts, really top flowery shirts. And I'm so looking forward to it. It should be good. That's probably why Thai roads are one of the most dangerous in the world. Yeah, but it's a lot more. They are classed as one of the dangerous roads in the world. But I've seen so many accidents in the UK, and accidents happen no matter where you are. And again, a lot of this is motorbike accidents. There's more motorbike accidents than anything else here in Thailand. And the death rates, because people don't wear the helmet, and intoxication through drink and other substances. That's why there's a high death rate over here. But I think the roads are safe. I think the roads are safe. If you stick to the speed limits, you're okay. There are some mad Thai drivers that undertake you every time. So you've got to be more aware when you're driving here. I used to drive the fire engines, and I was taught how to drive defensively. Your head's in the mirrors all of the time, and that's a good way of driving here, defensively, because before you make any move, you look at all your mirrors before you make any move. Then you indicate, look in the mirrors again, and then move. And touch wood, or the plastic table that I've got. Hopefully, I'll never have an accident here, because I've always got my eyes in the mirror and looking to see what's happening behind me. Do you still have a drone, Les? I do still have a drone, yes. I've not used it for a long time. It's sort of one of them things. It's a lot of effort to get it because of the insurance, and now I've got to re-register it again with the Thai authorities. And because of the Cambodian war, flying of drones in this area was restricted. So yeah, but I'll get it out of the box when I do my travels. I'll get it all insured and proper certification so I can, tick all the laws, because if you're driving a motorcycle without a license over here, you can be fined 1,000 baht. If you're flying a drone over here without a license, you can be fined 100,000 baht. So, driving a motorbike that potentially can kill somebody, 1,000 baht with no insurance. But flying a drone without a license, 100,000 baht. And again, what's going to happen? The police are going to come along, they're going to confiscate the drone or fine you 100. So they get a DJI drone for free. So that's why I don't fly it. Because I didn't get it insured because of the conflict that was going on. So anyway, yeah, but I've still got the drone. Can I speak Thai? I'm in the process now of learning Thai. I've got a couple of courses and, I'll do 10 or 15 minutes a day, but it's still difficult. I was trying to explain to the staff at Thai what to do, that I wanted some electricity cable, what size and how many meters, and they just didn't understand. So I ended up using Google Translate, and that said exactly what I said, but they understood Google Translate as opposed to my. So learning Thai is very, very difficult to do. I hate Songkran. They have a total disregard for people's expensive vehicles. Yeah. But again, just don't go out in your vehicle. But I understand what you're saying, yeah, that throw everything and anything at the cars and the motorbikes. How can a man of such senior year have such great hair? You lucky so-and-so. Yeah, it's real as well, yeah. It's going a little bit grey on the top, but luckily yet I haven't got an eagle's nest with one egg in it. So, yeah, still a good head of hair. But saying that, me dad went very thin on top. Sadly, he died when he was 59. So I've got a good head. I've got grey bits, but it's still there. So I don't know. I don't have to wear a hat to protect my head from the sun. But yeah, thank you very much. What's happened there? I went off for a second. I like I've only been to Goa in India, and I like Goa. But again, there's much more to India. But again, India, it's very polluted and very dirty. But the people were nice that I found in Goa. So I might even go back to there one day. And Juna Market, it was absolutely fantastic. I loved it. So that's again, the doors have opened, so I can go and travel wherever I want to do. And there's no need to ask anybody. There's no need to worry about visas. There's no need to worry about, do you like flying? I mean, because Ploy didn't like flying. So that's why we went everywhere by car in Thailand. And as we've been around most of Thailand. So any other place that I go back to Thailand, I've already been there. There's very few places I haven't been to in Thailand. Hi, Les, still selling your house? Yeah, the house is still up for sale. A few tire kickers and a few people inquiring, but nothing is certain as yet. Why do the words on your cup appear backwards? Asking for my own podcast I'm starting. Again, does that show backwards? Yeah, because maybe it's the way the camera is. Because I'm using the back camera of my iPhone, where if you use the front camera, I mean, because that house there is actually to the left of me on that side, if that makes sense. Yeah, it's all to do with the camera. I've got the front facing camera on the iPhone or the back face, and I'm using the back face camera, and of course that shows as if it's opposite round, doesn't it? So yeah, your camera, if you're using one camera angle, it's showing you one direction. If you use the other camera angle, it shows the opposite direction. So, yeah. But I say that was an hour and a half ago that I showed that on there. Retired and living the dream mugs. I've still got a few left if anybody wants to buy them, but I can only deliver to Thailand. They're 300 baht each plus delivery. So 370 baht delivery to Thailand. So yeah, retired and I do have a couple of Australian ones where it's upside down because they live down under. The first buckets of dirty water were launched at my car on the 3rd of April. Got 2 more weeks of this intensity yet. I need to use my car where I live. Oh, it started on the 3rd of April. Wow, that's very, very early. Yeah, again, I've seen people in Pattaya where all the water is going down the drain, and they have these homemade blue, which are very, very powerful and strong and can take your eye out. And a couple of guys just in the gutters where all the water's good, just drawing the water up on the gutters. You know, that isn't good. I mean, that's usually towards the end of Songkran when there's a water shortage, because people then have stopped paying to get water delivered. And I've got a little small water pistol, and having a small water pistol, then you can just go into 7-Eleven and buy a little water bottle, cold water bottle for 10 baht, and then use that, because you're expected to have a drink at the bar. If you're going to fill up with their water, that's ice water in their containers, you know, it's sort of polite to offer some money to fill it up, or at least have a beer in their establishment. Whereas if you have the little water bottles, you get a little water bottle from 7-Eleven. 7-Elevens are everywhere, 10 baht, and it's ice cold water. And so all I've got is, you'll only see my little gun. I've only got a little one. I haven't got a super soaker. Hi Les, have you been to Singapore? Yeah, I've been to Singapore twice. I like Singapore. It's only very small, but it's a good location. We were there. I went there with Ploy, and I went there with my Chinese wife. So I've been there twice. Hi Les, do you think would have been lonely if you broke up in your 30s? Does wisdom help? I think we've had that one before. But yeah, loneliness can happen in your 30s and it can happen in your 60s. But wisdom comes with age, that's for sure, yes. Hello, Dave. Got to Love Thailand. He's another good vlogger. Dave from Got to Love Thailand. Everything's okay, Dave. Looking forward to Songkran, mate, next week. Going to Bangkok for a couple of days water fighting. Love it. Your general attitude towards life. Yeah, generally my attitude towards life is that you're only here once, so you've got to do what you can whilst you can for as long as you can, because you're a long time dead. And again, because I was a firefighter for 30 years, I've seen so much death and tragedy, and it'd be a waste of life if you just sulked and moaned and groaned about everything. Your future is in your hands, and it's up to you to make yourself happy, because nobody else is going to do it. Hello, Les. The best from the Philippines, from one positive person to another. Best regards, Alan. Thanks very much, Alan. Again, looking forward to going to the Philippines in June. I'll be there for my 66th birthday. Looking forward to it. Question, do I still talk to Ploy? No, well, I tell a lie. I've had to send her a couple of voicemail messages because the green book for the motorbike didn't come. But I told her, I did a voice message to her, and I said, there's no need to reply to this. I said, just, you know, have a word with the licensing place to say that I haven't got the green book, because it took 6 weeks. It's usually there in 4 weeks. And two days later, I got the green book for the motorbike. So no, I don't speak to Ploy. There's no need to. There's what we're going to say to each other. You know, there's nothing to say. We said all what we needed to say before we split up. So, you know, she gets on with her life, I get on with mine. Songkran is not about having water fights. It's about blessing each other with a small amount of water poured gently over your head and hands. Exactly, 100%. But it is so much fun, Songkran. Did you meet Trevor at Buzzin? Yes, I did. I met Trevor, not this last time that I went to Pattaya, the time before. And again, I'll be doing another video about that, about my thoughts on the services that people have to offer in Pattaya. But again, that's a whole different topic, and it will be an adult topic, so it will be a members video, that one. If I can, yeah. But we're going down a little different bit of a channel, and there will be some members videos, and that's all about, because I'm a single guy now, and single guys do single guy things, and it's not the gist of my retired and living the dream, because I'm still retired and I am living the dream, and I've got to say, life is good. Life isn't as bad as some people make it out to be, and life can be good in your own hands, but there is a certain element of my lifestyle which is changing, so that's more adult based, and that will be on a private members part of my channel, but that won't be coming out until the end of when I come back from the Philippines. So, but that's in the making. But yeah, Trevor, buzzing Pattaya, good guy. He does some good trips, and I would highly recommend anybody who's going to Pattaya go on one of these Monday to Friday trips. Brilliant. Hi, Liz, sorry to hear about your marriage breakdown. I have a feeling you'll meet someone when you go to the Philippines. I've been told that, yes. Yeah, and the beauty about the Philippines is that they speak fairly good English as opposed to here. I mean, I've been introduced to other ladies here. Friends of mine have said, oh, I've got a friend of a friend who she's looking for a foreigner boyfriend. And I'm not into that yet, because I'm going to England and I'm going to the Philippines. So it's too early to start a relationship yet with somebody else. I've just got out of one. I don't want to jump straight into another one. And they don't speak very good English anyway. So that's always going to be a problem. So yeah, it will be what it will be. But the Philippines, I'm looking forward to it. Be careful in the Philippines. The girls work 6 days a week. And if you're looking for someone to take care of them, yeah, but the girls over here work 6 days a week, and the girls are looking for the same thing over here. So it's the same thing, but at least you can speak English to them and they understand, where here it isn't as easy. Yes, it's polluted, not as clean, not so clean in India, unfortunately, but you will live and travel for less if you want to visit anywhere. Safe travels though. Yeah, thanks very much. Have I been to Pai? Yes, I've been to Pai. Love Pai. It's probably one of the only other places that I'd live in Thailand. As much as I like the sea, and I do love living by the coast, Pai is an exception because it's got beautiful, stunningly beautiful views. And I like me coffee and I like me views. And I might even go to Pai for Christmas and New Year this year. That's in the distant future, but I like Pai. I've been there 5 times already, so I like it that much. I might go and spend a month in Pai over the Christmas and New Year period. But again, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Be careful in the Philippines. More scams than in Thailand. Yeah, I've been told so. There's so many stories that I've heard, good and bad, about the Philippines. I've got to go and see with my own eyes, don't I? You know, I've got to go and experience it, whether I can put up with it. I was talking to an American guy a couple of weeks ago. He'd lived in the Philippines for 3 years, and he's lived in Thailand for 3 years, and he much prefers Thailand to the Philippines. He said, for his experience, you just can't escape the noise. Motorbikes, cockerels, general traffic noise, and hooting the horns and stuff like that. He said, I just couldn't live with the noise pollution. But it's like everywhere. It depends where you live. I live semi-remote here, and I love it here. But we have the odd motorbike and car and truck come up and down. But on the whole, it's a beautiful place that I live. And I've got to say, out of all the places that I've been and looked, this ticks all the boxes, this house. I've never seen another property that I liked as much, and I think I could live there for the price. That's what I'm saying. And so I'm 8 minutes away from the beach, and I shall be going to the beach 10 to 5. I'll be at the beach in another hour's time at She Sails. Stunningly beautiful location right on the beach to watch the sun go down, and I'll have one beer while I'm there because it's just beautiful. It's very, very nice. So If I find something like that in the Philippines, I'll be happy days. As long as it's near a nice beach, reasonable to live, I'll be happy at that. I can put up with the cockerels and the chickens, no problem. What's it like getting a visa out there for? Is that for the Philippines or is that for Thailand? Thailand, the visa, it's getting more difficult now, but it's not impossible. The visa in the Philippines, I've looked into that, and you can get a long-term visa, retirement visa, for £15,000 in the bank. If you have £15,000 in the bank, then you can get a lifelong retirement visa, and all you need to do is go into the the immigration office once a year. And that $15,000 that you have to put in the bank, if you can spend that if you buy a condo or a Filipino house, but the rules are the same over there. You can't own the land, but you can own the house. So you can even invest the $15,000 on a property, and that still secures your visa for retirement, which knocks the spots off Thailand for, difficulty or asking people to stay there. So swings and roundabouts, really, isn't it? Some people, the expression that I've heard, you either love it or hate it. And the only expression that I got from that was Malta. You either loved it or hated it. I hated Malta, but my sister loves Malta. So it doesn't suit everybody every time, but I've got to go and make my own mind up. But I've got to say, at the minute, it is looking pretty favorable that I may move over to the Philippines in time. But that's what I need to go and see. I need to go and have a look, because I've been there, seen it, done it in most of Thailand. So if I go anywhere again in Thailand, I've been there and seen it already. Whereas the Philippines, I've never seen anything. I love me travel. I've always traveled from retirement, the day 50, travel around the world for 2 years. I love traveling. I love seeing new places. And I just want to do it for as long as I can do it. And long may it last. Hi, Les, do you have any problems with a shortage of petrol? No, we live 40 odd kilometers from a refinery. So, no, I've never seen queuing at the stations around here, the Rayong. I still get my gas. It's gone up 10 baht. It used to be 28 baht, 38 baht now per litre, which is about 56 pence, 38, no, about 70 odd pence now a litre. So it's still incredibly cheap in comparison to the UK. So no, we haven't any problems with the petrol. Boracay used to be nice, but overcrowded and too expensive. Again, I've watched a lot of people who've gone over to the Philippines. Joe Go, he's just been there for a year now. I've watched a few of his videos. A nice guy, nice American guy. Comes across, honest, reliable, trustworthy guy who just likes the simple things in life. And, but it's the same thing that happens in the Philippines as it is over here. He's with a girl and he's helping her family out and her son. So, yeah, it's just sort of, for me, same expectations over there as it is over here. But she speaks very good English and you can have a full-blown conversation with her, whereas trying to find a person that can speak good English that you can have a chat with over here is more difficult to do. I've got a friend of mine, sadly, he broke up with his girlfriend 2 or 3 months or so ago, and he's looking for another girlfriend. And the girl that he's talking to now, the Speak by Translation app, that's not a relationship for me. Having somebody that if you want to speak to them, you have to speak through a translation app. I'm never, ever going to go for that at all. If she doesn't speak English, then she won't be with me, because my Thai will never, ever be good enough to have a conversation with her. So, yeah. But I can deal with that now. I've got choices, and I'm too old in the tooth now to sort of accept anything less. So new rules, new way of living. I'll go with the flow of being a single man in my late age rather than trying to find another long-term girlfriend. But never say never, and hey ho, let's see where we go. Hi David Webb, hello Les, hello. Hi Les from Durban, South Africa. Enjoy yourself and have a relaxing day. Yeah, I do something every day in the house. I do something 2 or 3 hours worth of work in the house every day. I've been doing a little bit of painting and decorating over the past couple of days, getting the walls prepared, took any loose paint off, scraped it down, filled it, and I'll be painting it on Monday or Tuesday. So yeah, there's always things to do over here. And again, I don't mind. It's a beautiful house. If I lived in a condo, I'd be going up the walls because there's sort of nothing to do in the condo. That hedge there, I'm going to cut all the hedge, and I've got the hedge just behind the camera. That one's cutting. So there's a lot of work to do here before I go back to the UK. Painting, decorating, gardening, weeding. So I've got Songkran. I'm going to help 2 more people before I go back to the UK. Michelle with the cats. I'll be doing another day. So yeah, my diary's pretty full for the rest of this month. Drove from Jomtien to Rayong Beach last week. It was lovely. Did you come up through Banpei and go through the pinery where there's all pine trees? It's beautiful, beautiful along there. Near Swanson Beach. It's very, very nice. I like Rayong. You know, I sing its praises. A lot of people think it's industrial and chemical. It is. Rayong is a big province, but I live about 45, 50 kilometers away from the industrial part of it. So that's a fair distance that nothing like that bothers me. It's a beautiful location, semi-rural, but 15 kilometers away from Macro and Lotus, 45 kilometers, 50 kilometers away from Rayong City, an hour and a half away from the center of Pattaya, 3 hours away from Bangkok, where I'm going on the 13th. So it's still close to everywhere you want to go. And it's not on the tourist map because, there's only Koh Samet, which is the tourists come for. Koh Samet, and it's a beautiful tropical island 30 minutes away from me. But the location is good. And because it isn't on the tourist map, prices of living expenses here is cheap for rental of houses, for buying them houses, and also for restaurants, cheap food. Diesel is over 50 baht a litre now, and petrol around 45 baht a litre. Well, I looked at the petrol yesterday, and it was 38 baht I put E20 in my car. How far is Rayong from Jomtien? About an hour and 20 minutes from Jomtien to my house. So that's not too far, is it? UK diesel now 199. Petrol 188. Wow. Paul has broken. I'll find another bride in Cebu. Cebu isn't on my list. I don't really fancy Cebu, to be honest. I've looked at many places, and there's good things and bad things about Cebu anyway. But there's good things and bad things about anywhere, the Philippines or Thailand. But I'm sure I will find a girlfriend before I curl my toes up, put it like that. Whether she's going to be a living girlfriend or whether it's just friends with benefits, I don't know yet. But a lot of people have said to me, now I'm on my own, what am I going to do when I get a little bit older and frailer? Well, hopefully that's many, many more years away. And when all's said and done, I can afford to have a housekeeper. And in Thailand, I could have a housekeeper 6 days a week for 15,000 baht a month who cooks, cleans, and takes care of me without the benefits. I'm okay with that because then there's somebody around all the time. And in the Philippines, you can get the same cook, cleaner, maid for about 10,000 pesos, which is about 6,000 or 7,000 baht. So there's no need to be on your own. You can pay for somebody to come cook and clean for you, and just to be there, just so you can say hi to and talk to. So you don't have to live on your own here. It's up to you. You know, your life is in your hands, and you have many decisions that you can go, whether you want to do that or whether you don't want to do that. And at present, I'm not bothered about anybody moving into the house. I'm okay with my own company. Constant noise pollution in the Philippines, dogs barking 24/7, roosters, traffic, karaoke, construction, building everywhere, constant sleep deprivation, nobody cares. Again, we have the roosters here, and we have the loud motorbikes and trucks going past our house. You just get used to it. So it's not that, I mean, there's a car coming now. Is that too loud? When I'm sleeping in the bedroom, we've got 3 or 4 roosters around here. I don't even hear them. Fuel prices went up today again in Thailand. Sad to hear, but it's going to go up, isn't it? It's only going to go one way, and it's going to go up. So that's going to affect everybody, not just Thailand. But let's say that everything goes up, say 10% worldwide. So 10% of something expensive in England is a lot. Something that's gone up 10% expensive in Thailand isn't as much as the 10% it is in the UK. It's going to affect the Thai people because they're on low money, but our Western money, we're always going to be compensated for that because of inflation rises and things like that. So even though people are going to say it's going to go up in Thailand, it's going to go up in Thailand like everywhere else, of course it is. But we're still only paying 38 or let's say 40 baht for a litre petrol, which is 80 or 90 pence, which is more than half of what it is in the UK. So swings and roundabouts, everybody's going to feel the pinch no matter where they are in the world. But you feel the pinch a lot less here than you do in the UK. I'm sure I'm going to get a big shock when I go to the UK as to how much things are. And somebody said to me before when I went back to the UK, and you kept saying, oh, this is expensive, that's expensive, the other's expensive. Well, when you're only paying 60 baht for a cup of coffee, which is about £1.30, and it's £3 in England for a cup of coffee, there's a huge difference. I like my coffee, so if I drink coffee every day, that's a huge amount of money. That's what I'm saying. It, you know, a Greg's sausage roll is about £1.40, I think now, so my sister was saying. But we'll see. I'm going to do comparison as to how much it costs to live here compared to if I move back to the UK. I'm going to look at a couple of rental properties, what my money would get in the UK. I mean, over here, this is just, when I was renting this, it was 12,000 baht a month, which is about 250, 260 quid. What could you get for £260 in the UK? You'd be lucky if you got a garage. But we're going to do price comparison videos and things like that. And I would say to those people in the UK, if you can move to where you're valued, and the value of your money goes further than it does in the UK. Will you sell your car? If I moved over to the Philippines, yes, I'd sell everything, my car and my motorbike, everything. Where you're going to move to when you offload your house, when and if I sell the house, should say, I'd probably move to, I can't be my leg. I'd probably move to Hua Hin for a little bit. I like Hua Hin. It's nice there. The traffic's a lot busier in Hua Hin than it is here, but it's just somewhere different because I've lived in Jomtien. I did that for 2 years. I might even live up in Pai because I like Pai. I just have to go and live there a little bit longer, various places, see where I like to hang my hat, if you like. But that's the beauty of being able to have the choice. You can go wherever you want to go. But Pai or Hua Hin, I would say. Yeah, again, sell the car and motorbike. If I was to move to the Philippines, I'd sell the car and the motorbike. But if I don't move to the Philippines, then I won't be selling the car or the motorbike, obviously. Highlands flat white and cost of £4.05. Wow. My goodness. Hi, Les. If I wanted to rent property for 3 months, which website would be best to look at? FazWaz is probably one of the most usable, friendly website for looking for properties to buy and rent. FazWaz, because they cover all over Thailand. So I would say have a look in there. I enjoyed staying in England a couple of years ago. I like long, peaceful walks, no nonsense, people, cleanliness, mostly everywhere, and most importantly, good nature, apart from the cost of living. Yeah, again, I mean, the country walks. I'm going to go up Rosebery Topping. I'm going to have a walk up at Rosebery Topping for those people who live in the Cleveland area. I meant to do it the last time, but I didn't have time to do it. But I'm going to do it this time because Rosebery Topping is nice. I like Rosebery Topping, and then a couple of beers in the pub at the bottom of Rosebery Topping. So, yeah, looking forward to that. I might even spend a night in Whitby as well, and go to Whitby's a nice place just to spend the night. York, I love York as well, so I might spend a night or a day or two in York. I've got 6 weeks to do it, and there's a lot to fit in, and I love York. So yeah, let's see where we go with this. Bet you can't wait to feel the crisp, cool weather of Redcar, fresh air in your lungs, fish and chips in your stomach. I refuse to pay £10 or £11 for fish and chips. It was just shockingly bad to pay that amount of money for fish and chips in Redcar. So I never had fish and chips in Redcar. But yeah, the air is a bit fresher now that the steelworks is gone, that's for sure. And if you switch to the Philippines, they have good refinement assistant homes, communities and good care that is very affordable as long as my wife lives and can take care of me in Thailand is best. Yep. The Filipinos are all over the world for care assistants and nurses. So it's sort of naturally inbuilt into them to be taking care of people. So yeah, I've had a lot of good comments with the Philippines, but I've got to go and see, and that's where it's going to be. I shall go and see and test it out. People think, oh, Thailand is more expensive than 5 years ago, 10, 15 more years ago, but there always remains much cheaper than most. Everywhere. I mean, yeah, of course, it's 10 or 15 years ago, prices are going to go up. But as prices stayed down in your home country, no, every country in the world, it hasn't remained at the same price, is it? And if it goes up 10 or 15% over the 10 or 15 years, 10 or 15% in your country is a lot more than 10 or 15% here in Thailand. So everywhere goes up. There's no way, you can't escape that from nowhere. Yeah, I stayed in Hua Hin on the way back from Koh Samui. Yeah, there's a lot of nice places in Hua Hin. I like Hua Hin. Try £19 for fish and chips. Oh my goodness. Do you know Peter who does the Thailand Bound channel? He's in Hua Hin. Yeah, he's in Hua Hin. I've seen a couple of his posts on TikTok or Instagram, whichever they were. He's got the dog, hasn't he, that keeps peeing inside the house, and he's not very happy that his wife got a job in the hospital, but apparently now she's packing up that job type of thing. So yeah, it's to be fair, he doesn't sound very happy. He doesn't sound very happy and the situation that he's got. But he's living in a house on a housing estate. I couldn't live on a housing estate like that at all. But you know, it's not everybody's cup of tea. I wish him the best. He's a good storyteller. I knew him from years ago when he used to tell stories before he came over to Thailand. But he gets a lot of stick as well, a lot of criticism. But it's like any YouTuber, if you stick your head above the parapet, people are going to shoot at you. But yeah, I wish him the best. I hope his dog stops chewing everything up and peeing everywhere. But it's come back to haunt him, getting the dog. Greg's Bakery still does a large Americano coffee for £2.10. Costa Coffee £4.5. Starbucks $3.95. Long with live Weatherspoons and Greg. Yeah, Weatherspoons. I'll be going to Weatherspoons again in Redcar because they did a refillable coffee for £1.70. It's probably gone up a little bit since then. Might be £2 a coffee now, but you can have as many refills as you want. Weatherspoons has got it cracked because on the morning it's full of the pensioners who go in for cheap food and the coffees and that. And then on the night time, all the young people go in for the cheap beers. So he's got a good way of making money, and he's quite a wealthy guy, Weatherspoons. I think he's got it cracked. But there are some bars that we were going in. I go out on a Friday night with some of my friends, and they go around various pubs. And it was almost £5 a pint, and there's 6 of us who go out. So, you know, that's an expensive round at £5 a beer. Something I couldn't afford to do every week. Hi, Les. Good to see you. You're still smiling, but honestly, mate, you are. How you're holding up when you're alone at night. Yeah. I don't find it difficult. I really don't find it difficult. I have my moments. Obviously, everybody does. But I mean, coming up in my 6th week now, and everything is okay because I watch the movie, I watch YouTube. There's always something entertaining on the TV. Like tonight, 6 o'clock, I'm going out to She Sales. So I'll be out for a couple of hours. That'll take me to 8 o'clock. And I'm in bed by 10 or 11 o'clock anyway. So, yeah, it's okay. It has its moments like everything else. But, you know, just life goes on. I'm occupied during the day, so I'm not sat stupid and thinking, what am I going to do today? And I've got plans. And I think that's the important thing is having a plan and doing the things that you want to do for as long as you can. And I'm going to be doing all of that lot, you know, with the trips to England. Well, Bangkok next week, then England. So 4 weeks time I'll be in England. I mean, 4 weeks is going to pass like that with all the work that I've got to do in the garden, cutting the hedges, doing painting and decorating. So yeah, I'm okay. It's not as lonely as I thought it was going to be. It was in the first week, without a doubt, because everything's going through your mind and that. And I have felt lonely and I have felt depressed and I have felt down. But then I get up in the morning and I just think, yeah, okay, but what a lovely place to wake up. I sit on the sofa watching the sunrise, having my coffee, and I'd sooner reset everything from here than sat in the grey sky UK in a bedsit or a flat or something like that, because I can't afford anything really plush and nice in the UK, that's for sure. But thanks very much for your concern, and I've got to say everything is hunky-dory, everything's getting better. I worked for Weatherspoons near Rugby for a brief period at the time in early 2024. Good place. Good to hear that you enjoyed it. Yeah, as I said earlier, I was planning on the Philippines first because of English cost, visa, and elderly medical care. Retired US veteran, as easy cheaper visa. Yeah, the Americans have got it good in the Philippines because of their Medicare and stuff like that. So, yeah, there's a lot of happy Americans in the Philippines. If you weren't relying on the marriage visa, would you prefer to bring the divorce forward rather than waiting until December? It's just something we talked about beforehand, because it comes with a little bonus for ploy. And again, it's all about negotiation, is it? Because at the minute, as we're still married, if I die within the next 6 months or so, well, until December, ploy still gets my fire brigade pension. And this is what we discussed about this, is that it helps her and it helps me. The divorce is going to happen 100% for sure. But if we've got the divorce now, then within 7 days of getting divorced, I would have to leave the country and come back in as a retirement visa application form. So I'd have to leave the country and do it, or just go out and come back on a tourist visa, and then when I go back to the UK, start the process again. And because I haven't got the 12 monthly income into the bank, it would make things a little bit more difficult. So we had 9.5 good years together. Although it was sad that we broke up, it's it's not full of bitterness or hatred and things like that. So we sort of scratched each other's back, and she's okay with that. I'm okay with that. But come December, everything stops for her. So she wouldn't get the pension. She wouldn't get anything else at all from that. So yeah, it was a acrimonious split up, and we agreed to do these things. But if she wanted the divorce tomorrow, then I'd give her the divorce tomorrow. I wouldn't say no, because there's other things I can do since I found out. So yeah, there's always options. But again, we had 9.5 good years together. So why fight over, it's sort of mutually agreeing that we're both going to split up. So there's no need for arguments and annoyance, because it is what it is. It's surprising how much we rely on Thai partner to help doing things until they are not. Yeah, I mean, I relied on Play because she was fantastic at English. She really was good, and I relied on her for doing all the translations. Like today, the lady who came for the water bill. Okay, I know a little bit of Thai for how much, and when she told me how much it was, I knew how much it was. But then to try and tell her that the pipe was leaking, the water pipe was leaking, and could she help me, please? But I learned the Thai phrase to ask for that. So when I said that to her, she looked at me, and I said, "Money, money, money, come here." And I showed her, and she, "Oh, okay." So yeah, I'm going to have to learn a lot more Thai, and to be less reliant on other people, and that's not a bad thing. You come across as a stable guy. You've just hit the pothole in the freeway of love. Yep, I'd agree with that. And I'm a good guy, and I'm always will be a good guy. And why be anything different? Stay away from negative people. And I have had a few negative comments, as you do, because if you're on YouTube, you put your head above the parrot, somebody's going to shoot at you. So yeah, I take the rough with the smooth. And again, my channel was always about the positives of living in Thailand. And even though I'm going through a divorce at the minute, I'm still positive about Thailand. I'm still positive about the Thai people, the Thai girls. You can protect yourself from getting ripped off. And there's a lot of bad feelings from the guys who have been ripped off. As soon as she's going to take you for every penny, she's going to do this, she's going to do that, move the house because they're going to rob the house. He's going to do it. These are all people, for me, who suffered the hardship of Thailand, and they have been robbed and they have been cheated, and they're very bitter about it. But from day one, there's precautions that have been taken that, so Play can't do that to me. And I'd always say to people, look after yourself. If you get divorced in your 30s and 40s, you've got time to recover. If you get divorced in your 50s or 60s, it's much more difficult to recover from that. And if you get divorced in your 60s to 70s, it's almost impossible to recover from that. So what you have, you need to protect one way or another. And if your Thai partner or whatever partner, Western partner, doesn't like that, then just walk away, because at the end of the day, we never know what's going to go wrong. This was like a lightning bolt out of the blue. I didn't expect this to happen, but it did. But thankfully, everything in the garden's okay. It's sad that we're getting divorced, but at least I'm not on here saying she took me for everything. I've lost the house, I've lost the cars, I've lost the motorbikes, I've lost everything. Woe is me. No, I've got full of admiration for Play, for going to look after her son. And if she didn't go look after her son, well then, what type of person would she be viewed at by other people? So again, he's destroyed more than his own life, and I wish Play the best of luck and happiness. I think she's always going to be in a hard place with her son, but that's what she chose, and I've got no problems with that. Less sorry-hitting news over the past months. Now is the time of opportunity to live the best again, and I'm hands held up high for that opportunity. Again, I'm opening the doors. And I'm looking down the door and I'm thinking, if I like it, I'll stay. But if I don't like it, I'll open another door. And that's the beauty of what I can do. And I'm looking forward to it. I've got plenty of things that I'm going to be doing. And I'm really, really happy that I've got the possibility to do it. My pension is enough to live on this part of the world. If I was in the same position in England, it'd be a lot more gloomier because of everything else. And if I was married to another English girl and she didn't work for a number of years, then I'd be losing a part of my pension as well. But my pension is safe here. I'm not going to lose any part of that at all. There's no maintenance to pay. There's no divorce settlement to pay. I've still got the house because that was protected with the agreement that I signed with the landlady. I've got the car, I've got the motorbike. So out of all the divorces I've got, this is probably the simplest and the least expensive divorce. But you can protect yourself right from the word go. And for those people who haven't protected themselves, well, you might be stirring a little bit of trouble up later on. Hi, Les, do you ever drink Thai whiskey, Samsung or the like? Yeah, I like Samsung. I haven't had Samsung for about 4 or 5 months now, but I do like Samsung and Coke. But my favorite tipple is Chang. I like Chang. It's you know, Leo's too sweet. Singhar is okay, but Chang I like the best. But I don't drink a lot anyway. I've never drunk a lot. You're looking very tan today, Les. You've been out in the sun. Yeah, I was working in the garden, and I was working in the garden without my shirt on to get a tan for when I was going back to England. And I was only in the garden for an hour and a half, and that sun burnt me back. So I just go red and I go back to white again. So my arms and my legs are enough because I'll wear short sleeve shirts back in England. Okay, I'll have long trousers on because it's still going to be chilly over there. But yeah, my face and my arms look tanned. So people think, oh, have you been to Spain for a week or two? Unfortunately, Les, they don't have a choice. A foreigner will never come before. Yeah, I agree with that. I understand that, yes. And that was one of the things that I liked about Thailand, that family stick together. And that's what I like. It's something we've lost in the Western world. But sadly, that's come to bite me in the bum with regard to family. Even though he's a waste of space and he's always going to give her grief because he was a bad apple before and he will never change. He will always be a bad apple. But I understand she can't have her mum and dad having the responsibility. Look, so the pressure was on her for sure. And I understand that. But the solution was that she went away, or she worked to pay for his treatment. Then that shows me that she's prepared to work to pay for him to do that. Whereas she was relying on my allowance that I give her every month to pay for him to do that. Now that just affected me because then it made me angry that, you know, the money that I'm giving her, she's spending on somebody that doesn't warrant the money being spent on him. Whereas if she'd gone to work and worked for 4 or 5 months while she was in rehab, that showed me the effort that she's actually trying to pay for him herself, as opposed to taking it out of the allowance that I give her. So she's laid on the hammock watching a TikTok, and he's getting paid to go to a rehabilitation center with the money that I give her an allowance. And this is the first one and only time out of 9.5 years I said no. I've never said no before. I've always helped a family before with built the lakes, built the extension to Ploy's house. So I've never ever been mean with the money, if you like. And it was only on this one occasion. He's never showed any respect to me, never ever. In fact, he showed the complete opposite. So why would I want my money to be spent on somebody that doesn't even share a hello or a thank you to anything and everything that I've ever done for him over the 8.5, 9 years? So my red line, her red line, she's gone back to live with the family. So she's not totally upset. She's not a poor lady. She's got her own house and a farm. and she's happy because she loves her mum and dad. So she's back up there with the mum and dad as well. So in our own ways, we're both happy. You know, I'm happy doing what I'm going to do. She's happy because now she's gone back home with the farm. She's not a poor lady. So life still goes on. And I hope that a son does become a better person, but I fear he won't. I also would say that he won't complete his 4 months rehabilitation either. He's just a bad apple, and you could see it, and he's never ever going to change. But that's my opinion. I hope that I'm proved wrong. Les, how important? Oh, hang on, that's gone back up. Les, how important is it to have a UK community close while living in rural? Hi, Les, how important is it to have a UK community close by while living in? We haven't got a UK community. I've got people that I'm friendly with that are Canadian, American, English, and Romanian. So I've got a group of friends, but we're not all from England. So we have our brunch club every week, and so we put the worlds to right. And there's a lot going on with the world now, so we always have our penny's worth, if you like. But that's our weekly group meeting, and that's good. It's important because then you get to speak your language, you get to speak your feelings of what's going on in the world. Because in Thailand, because you don't understand the politics and you don't understand the Thai language, you never know what's going on. But for us English-speaking people, there's stuff going on all over the world. So that gives us our being able to talk about anything and everything. But yeah, it's important to have social meeting groups as well, that you can talk to other people. Good morning from Lakeland, Florida. Good morning, Florida. Welcome to the channel. Can you drink on keto diet, or is beer out for the question? No, you can drink spirits. Sangsum I like, because if it's like hard the whiskies and the rums and things like that are sugar free, carb free, should I say? And then I drink it with Coke Zero. But beers, because it's got carbs in, is a no. But I used to drink the Samsung and Coke when I was on the keto, and that was okay. But again, I've not had Samsung now for quite a while now. In fact, I might get another bottle today and have a couple of tipples, because it is different to Chang for sure. But yeah, you can. I mean, with the keto diet, I'll have a look at the book. I've got the ebooks there. It tells you what alcohol you can drink and what you can't drink. But basically, red wine is better than white wine. But again, wine still has sugar in it and carbs. So basically, the keto, you avoid all the carbs. So drinking beer and alcohol just wastes the carbs, because then your body goes back onto the carbs as opposed to eating the fat. Completely agree with your decision, by the way. Good on you. Thanks very much. Again, I've had people with different opinions that I should pay for it, and but it just goes against my grain. I'll help those people that are willing to be helped, and I'll help those people who need a bit of help. But for the people who show no remorse and anything, and being a nasty person and not a good person inside of them, why would people want to help people like that? Sorry, I've done my good deeds for the day, and I've helped those that need help. And for those that don't need, that don't respect being helped and turn it against you, then I'm not prepared to spend any of my money on them type of people. It's just, you're just throwing good money after bad. But that's my opinion. People are going to have their own opinions. Let's see how they deal with it. For people who are totally lazy, wasteful, disrespectful, are you going to give them your money to think that they're going to be turning into a better person? I think not. If I had been 20 years younger, I would maybe have moved to Pai. But 4 years ago, in my late 50s, I decided to Hua Hin. I feel more comfortable every day. Yeah, again, it's where you like to hang your hat. If you like to hang your hat in Hua Hin on your hammock, then it's fantastic. Go where you feel, or live where you feel is happy. But pie, I've always liked pie. And there are plenty of locations. I could just sit all day in the chair, just watching the world go by and the views. And it's a very touristy place, so you just get to talk to anybody and everything. It's a nice place. I'm looking forward to go there for Christmas and New Year if I don't go to the Philippines. I always view a Thai relationship like buying a bottle of tomato ketchup. It has the best before dates on it, so as long as it lasts, simple as that. Yeah, I sort of would agree with that. Again, for me, and this is speaking bluntly now, because I've had time to reflect and time to look at things, we would have probably ended up splitting up later on in life anyway. And that's all to do with family also. So maybe this was a blessing in disguise, and I would have felt even more not angry. I'm not angry over the divorce. Disappointed, should I say. But Ploy loves her mum and dad, and rightly so. Her mum and dad are beautiful people, but they're aged now and they're aging, and they work very, very hard on the farm. So they're going to need looking after. And there's nobody else to look after them but Ploy, because it's down to the Thai culture that the girl looks after the mum and dad. So although Ploy has a house literally 10 meters away from Ploy's mum and dad's house, Ploy would be expected to take care of her mum and dad in their old age when somebody needs to look after them or take care. And God forbid that one of them dies and the other one's left alone, even more so that, she would be expected to go and look after them. So then I would be expected to move up there with Ploy because she can't look after them from here. So she'd have to live in the house. I would be expected to move to the farm with her. And as beautiful as the farm is and beautiful location and countryside, there is nobody there for me. There is nobody there that I could sit and talk to. There is nothing in the village that would entertain me. Nothing. So I would be bored and I would be expected to take care of myself because Ploy would be expected to work on the farm to bring a little bit of money in to look after her mum and dad. So it's not the lifestyle that I would choose, but this would be imposed on me come the day that Ploy's mum and dad need to be taken care of. And that's the Thai culture. And in some ways, when I first met Ploy, like 9.5 years or so ago, that was a lingering thought in the back of my mind. But Ploy's mum and dad then were 55 and 58. So they were still relatively young and fit. But now, when I've seen them, they are old and they are feeling their age. So Ploy, out the dutiful daughter that she is, she would go up to there irregards with looking after me, even though I was a husband. And you've probably heard this saying many, many, many times, is that family is number one here. And we come way down that list. Although she said, "Oh, your family now," I never, ever believed it, because at the end of the day, she was always going to leave and look after her family. So that's my thoughts of it now, looking upon it. It was going to happen in the long run. So those people who are in a relationship or looking at a relationship, look to see what the family is like. See whether there's other daughters or other people that can take care of parents. I don't mind sharing it if it was like a month or 2 months, but it's just Ploy was the only girl, then 2 brothers who were working in Bangkok and other locations, and they've got their own family. So they would not be able to go and look after Ploy's mum and dad. That's my thoughts anyway. But it certainly opened my eyes, and I would never have said, no, you can't go and look after your mum and dad, because that's what I liked about the Thai family. The Thai families take care of everybody else, and family is family. So that's just my little observation of what would have happened in the future, and it would have happened in the future. So I just got to the end of the sell-by date on the bottle of sauce. Better off without one. They get on the Bob Hope. It's the road trip. Yeah, and again, with that, there's an 80% failure rate in the rehab centres. And of course, now he's in the rehab centre with other people who've done the same exercise. So now he's mixing in world of other people that have probably got their views on how that they're never ever going to get addicted again, but how easy it is to sell it. You make a lot of money selling it, but don't take it, otherwise you'll end up back in the rehab. So that's, it opens up a whole new world for him. And again, I think at the end of the day, he's going to end up in the jar, which is the terminology that they use in Thailand for the jail, and he will end up there. And then it's expected of the parents to supplement the money or supplement the food, because the food isn't very good in the prisons. So she would be forever dishing out for money for his, so he has a better food if he's in there, say, for 5 years, for whatever he does. And then there's protection money so he doesn't get beaten up or whatever. So that would be expected from the parents as well. So you can see the writing is on the wall. And that would just cause stress for me and her and everybody for the rest of, whilst he's still with us. So I wasn't prepared to put up with that. So in some ways, this is a reprieve from all of that. And she's taken the can, carried the can, and she's going to live with that for the rest of her life also. You need to find someone with no parents and no kids. Not easy. It isn't, is it? You know. Yeah, I mean, that's a good scenario, but even then, that still might come with problems, because they're never going to tell you, oh yeah, you know, my brother's in debt, or my sister's in debt, my mother's in debt, we owe this, we owe that. Because if you start off a relationship with that type of knowledge, then it's just like, ooh, stay there, no, don't you come into my house. You know, they always tell you sugar and spices and everything's nice until they live with you. There's a guy that I know, once she moved in with him, got her feet under the table. She said, oh, my mother owes 100,000 back. Can you help out? Can you? Because she has to pay the loan sharks. And, you know, she's struggling. So that was landed on his doorstep a month after she moved in. So buyer beware. Hi, Les, it's Paul. I've decided to stay in Udon, but I will definitely be doing more traveling, that's for sure. If you're still in Rayong in a few months' time, then we can catch up again. Okay, Paul, no problems, mate. You do whatever makes you happy. And if I'm still here, always happy to meet for a cup of tea at Three Tree Beach or whatever, or something to eat. Go for it. If only you could have continued, the relationship would be more to where your wife's family is. Never a good move for foreigners. The only way you could have continued the relationship would be to move to, yeah, exactly. And I didn't want to move up there. That was never, ever. I looked at the plan about living there. I could have lived there rent free. You know, it was 85% house. The house was 85% finished when I met her, and it was 95% finished when we left. So yeah, I could have lived there rent free, but living there rent free would have been a totally different lifestyle than living here. She would have been up at 5 o'clock every morning, as she was when we lived there for the 3 or 4 weeks at a time that we went up there for a holiday. She was working in the farm, working with her mum and dad at 5 o'clock every morning. So by 7 o'clock at night, she was beat 7 days a week. So I was sat at home on the foyer, on the veranda, should say, with the internet, which wasn't very good, with 2 dogs. I had the motorbike to go around the village, but there was nothing in the village. So that lifestyle for me, I would have hated it, because I would have felt trapped. So yeah, you know, maybe the writing was on the wall, but I sort of failed to look at it, or look at it with a better vision. I've thought of retiring in Thailand, but do not think I would make it financially. I can only support myself. If I met a nice Thai lady, I could not help the family out. Well, you don't have to be rich to live over. You know, if you have I would say about £1,000 a month, you can live here in Thailand. Not every lady needs supporting. You know, there are ladies that you can have friends with benefits, if you like. And there's a friend of mine, he's 68, and I've showed him twice now how he can live here, and he can You can live opposite the beach, literally 50 meters away from the beach. A nice-ish location, eat out, have a few social nights with friends, and you would still have £250 a month for adult entertainment, which is a couple of bouts of adult entertainment, if you know what I mean, every month. So it is possible. It's like now I'm not looking for another long-term girlfriend. I'm looking at friends with benefits, and or a blast down to patio every now and then. Why do I need to get tied up to somebody else? I can get a cleaner here just for the company, if you want, just there's somebody else around the house that cooks and cleans and takes care of the house for like 12 to 15,000 baht a month, even probably 10,000. If I only had around here for 2 or 3 times a week, I could probably get that down to like 8 to 10,000 baht just to cook and clean and just do everything. So you don't have to be lonely here, but I understand what you're saying. If you find a nice Thai person, I thought I found a nice Thai person, and I did find a nice Thai person. She was beautiful, she was nice, she was friendly, she was honest. But then the family issues come along, and it's that caused everything to break up, and that's unaccountable. You cannot plan against that. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. So don't look on it, too badly. If you've got £1,000 a month, send me an email, and I'll tell you exactly how you can live on that amount of money, because I've shown so many people, and you can do it. It's not impossible. The more you have, the better it is, obviously. Les, I will say again, there is nowhere in Thai law does it. The IDP is only valid for 3 months. Yes, it's recommended to get a Thai license. I don't know whether it says it in law, but I've heard it so many times that it's only valid for 3 months. But like I said earlier on, whether they impose that or not, I don't know. But again, if you're living here full time, it's best to have a driver's license, a Thai driver's license for sure. But that's just the way it goes. So is life still a dream? Should I say any more? Blue skies, sitting outside in the sunshine, beautiful, nice and warm, nice people, very little crime. I'm going to go and eat in another 15 minutes for about a £5, about £5 for a Penang curry with a bottle of beer, watching the sun go down. Yes, it's still very much a dream, and I'm living it. And I'm so happy to have the opportunity to be able to live here. And not every guy needs a lady, exactly. With age becomes, you don't need a lady for everything. And if you do need a lady for something, it's a lot easier to get that something here than it is in the UK, that's for sure. When I open my members only group, I shall talk about a couple of examples of finding ladies in the UK. But that's adult talk, and I can't talk about that on this part of it. But there's lots to say and do, and I can save people lots of money. And I used to run trips around Pattaya 12 years ago, and I can do that more easily now because I'm single again, and I can do it, and I can spend time and save people a lot of money and save people from getting ripped off. Not that you're going to get ripped off in Pattaya, but there are so many guys that have emailed me and said they're scared about getting ripped off in Pattaya. Again, I can take all of that away so you don't get ripped off. So we go to the good places, and you always end up with a happy ending and not feelings if you get ripped off. But that's all to come in the future. Little bit of changes in the channel. Now I'm a single guy. It's going to slightly run a little bit different to how it was, but still good fun. Reply, it's changed loads, especially the recent tourist demographic. Some say the Israelis I've heard the Israelis with their kibbutzes, they're not happy with the Israelis. In fact, there's some restaurants that we were there a couple of years ago said Israelis not welcome. You know, you can't get any blunter than that, can you? Israelis not welcome. Just Google it, maps. It's 3 months, simple as that. I don't know what that is. 90 days per visit. Okay, I don't know what that is. Anyway, we're coming up to 2 hours and 50 minutes. And I think I'm going to call that a day. And thank you very much for everybody. He's almost another 3 hours gone, just flown by like that. So I'm going to go and have something to eat and a bottle of beer and watch the sun go down. And it goes down about 6:30, 6:45 time here. So thanks very much, everybody. Thanks very much for the comments. Much appreciated. If you haven't given it a thumbs up already, give it a thumbs up. And look forward to doing the next video. And it'll be a couple of weeks and I'll do another live stream. So thanks very much. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining in.